What up? What up? What up? We back with another week of exciting Bros and Cars, another Bros and Cars episode. Yeah. My apologies. While I was sitting here messing with this music, I didn't want nothing playing that I didn't want to be heard. Now, fool around and hit the mute button. What's going on, Mr. Willie Brown? Willie Brown in the building. Wait for folk to fall in, man. Loud and clear, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm sitting here playing with this music, man. I like to have something. How's the music? Can you hear the music on your side? Creating a little atmosphere. Okay, cool. Yes, sir. Just trying to. Usually when we sitting here waiting for folk to jump in here, man, it's quiet. I can't stand that. I need to have something. I feel like that kind of fills that empty space. So we can throw something like this on. Let me see, edit list. I can add this. Throw something smooth on like that. Like this joint right here. Is this the one? I think this the one. Oh, yeah. So we can do stuff like that, man. Create a little atmosphere while we wait for folk to pop in. Yo, mama's house. What up, bro? That's a good one, man. I kind of like it, bro. I'm not gonna even. I know he jumped right in. Let me show you what he's talking about, man. Look, straight up, like let's dive in, man. Real talk. I actually don't dislike the look of the new Charger. I really need to bring this music too loud while I'm talking. I'm probably gonna have to let it go off. But I do like it, man. I think it's a nice looking vehicle. I think it's unfortunate that they, kind of I'm not gonna say slack because I don't think that's a fair statement. But I think because of their God, what's the word I want to say? How creative they were with, deciding on a powertrain for that vehicle, and the direction that they went. It added some of the challenge when it comes to the popularity of that car. The fact that it started out as an EV, really rubbed people some kind of way. And then when they threw powertrain in a heavy car, which is unfair to Dodge, because Dodge always have heavy cars. But the problem is they had the horsepower. They had a whole lot more motor to be able to propel that car and move it. So when you and God, it's crazy because they really didn't take power away from what, in my opinion, was their base car, which is, I think the Scat Pack fell more into that base space, base muscle car. It has more horsepower. The biggest challenge that they have is that it misses the sound because it doesn't have that big, hemmy, grunty, bold sound. It loses some of the attention from, that Mopar community. It has a look. I think it has a great look. It's not horrible. I think it's a good look. I just think that, I don't know, it's missing that sound. And I think they're not wrong for going the direction that they went. In my opinion, I think that they went a pretty cool direction. because they were chasing after or actually following what's popular. Inline sixes, you people wonder, why would they go to inline six? Well, because M3, M4, right? Um, they have one of the hottest inline sixes on the market today, right now. And let's not forget about, 2J. Um, you're talking motors that were iconic and were put into everything. I mean, I've seen 2JZ put into everything from a Charger, excuse me, into a Charger. I've seen 2JZs they put a 2JZ in a Rolls Royce. I just think that, you know, it offers, a bit of a challenge to especially the purists, that Mopar purists. But, I think they're trying to expand their brand and try to touch more than just the Mopar people. So they expanding their mindset from, the sliders or the guys that come in there and crash out at these car events. I think previous generations of the four-door Charger were only made because they already had the Challenger with two-door. I think you want a similar look for the car. Good question. That is a good question. Mr. Johnson in the building. What's going on, Mr. Johnson? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Just like what you said here, and I'm looking at you, what you said, Willie Brown. And yeah, great question. Uh, so a lot of cars are doing that, right? When I say they rebrand the name, look at Maverick, right? Ford reused the Maverick name and they didn't use it for what it was originally created for. Uh, I think they did the same thing with the Charger Challenger, in my opinion, because the Charger has such a popular name. It was such a popular car. It was such the big name for Dodge that when they branded that four-door, they branded a car. I mean, you got to realize something. Think about the first commercials that they had out for that car. What were they doing? They were smoking the tires. And they wonder why everybody else is doing it, why that community is known for that. But that's how they branded or they presented their brand, smoking the tires. So when you think about why they went that direction, it could be for many different reasons, not because they smoke tires, of course, but it could be for many different reasons. It could be just that the name was popular. It was a stronger name than Challenger when they were able to present their car. And it's crazy because the Challenger was, both of them were two-door. Challenger and the Charger were two-door. So they had to pick one and figure out, I guess my assumption is they had to pick one and decide who's going to be what and why. Beyond me. Good question, though. I mean, such an iconic brand. And you got to think about what Dodge was doing with their Charger Challenger line, man. It was through the roof. Absolutely through the roof. They flipped on the brand. They sold so many cars for more than one generation. That's the crazy part, right? They flipped on that car. And, not just to consumer because it was a great fleet car also. That car was used for cops and so on. So they really did their thing with that car, man. Do I think four-door Chargers look like muscle cars? Personally, I don't. No, I don't either. I think what they did with that car, calling it a muscle car, is almost like they were rebranding what muscle car could be. They put such a big motor, big Brody sound exhaust, fast sedans, and made them very popular. Made fast sedans very popular. And they didn't start it. They didn't start that. If you think way back, it was two makers, in my opinion, that was killing the game with fast sedans, and that was the Germans, BMW and Mercedes, were killing the game for the moment. Nissan had the Maxima, the sports four-door sports car. Right, it was a very popular four-door fast car. So Dodge, after such a break, not really a break, because you got to think BMW never let up with their four-door fast cars. So M5 was always killing the game, right? Oh, let's not talk about Audi. Audi, all of them, the big three, they had their four-door fast cars, all of them. Every last one of their top-notch cars, I mean, their RSs were four-door cars. For Audi, they had four-door cars, other than five back in the day. Muscle cars. I agree. I think the term is washed over. I think that we not only that, but the definition of what that car was, we don't have very much of that exists anymore. A lot of the cars that could have came down into that way have moved up. I don't know. It's just not there. The name, the term, and it's such a popular name for American made cars. They have foreign cars that fit in that category better than American made cars at this moment. If that was the case, I would consider V6 Charger a muscle car, because if they're gonna call four-door car muscle cars, then a V6 Charger can be. Man, that's a good statement. Call a muscle car as well. I agree with you. Under that scenario. Um, And I think that the term can be rebranded based on power power that the performance that these cars have, as opposed to just having a V8, because the V6s that are being made today outperform the car that originally started off as muscle cars. These V6s are crazy. They are absolutely nuts, making ridiculous power. V6 engines will never be considered muscle cars. I don't know, man. Hey, they made a four-door a muscle car. I think with the power that these V6s are able to produce, I mean, and I wouldn't even say V6s, I would just say six-cylinder motors, because you got inline sixes now that are introduced into the game. Dodge have introduced an inline six into the game that competes, truly, absolutely competes with, the BMWs. I don't know, man. I don't think it's completely off the table. I just don't think it's completely off the table. I think six cylinders. I mean, six cylinders. God, we sleep on the fact that, again, foreign car. However, you know, um, my goodness, let's really give you know GTR their props. They've been doing it for a very long time, very long time. And who's been doing it longer than them? Porsche. And Porsche is, is barking down supercarville. Is, and in most cases, it's considered a supercar. Uh, really, really, really down in the field. What up, bro? Looking at your name. Cynical Willie. I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you.
Now, the reason why I said the V6 will never be considered a muscle car because it's missing the one most important thing that a muscle car has to do, and that's sound good.
Here's the thing, and the part that kills me is when you hear some of the sixes out there, right? When you hear, not all of them sound good, and that's the problem. Like GTR sounds amazing, right? When you really hear with the right exhaust, like the GT2R RS sounds amazing. That four cylinder sounds crazy. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't sleep on the Turbo S or the Turbo either. They sound really good, right? With the right exhaust.
Right. I mean,
But not all of them, I agree with you, not all of them carry that note that gives you that heavy throaty, that thing that makes V8s or muscle cars. You know a muscle car when you hear it before you see it. I think
and
that's a
that's
fair statement.
and that's what's missing with the V6s. I mean, or inline, or even some of the inline sixes. No matter what you do to a BMW exhaust, as far as the six is concerned, inline six, it just doesn't hold any comparisons when you put it next to a V8.
Agreed.
Just doesn't.
Agreed. Agreed. They have their own sound.
Yes.
And what I believe is going to happen, and where we're going to land into this very interesting space, is that sound is going to start taking space of its own. And because we changed the moniker of what it actually is, muscle car, and start skewing the line because of performance. I think we're going to start putting ourselves in a situation where we start accepting what the alternative of those muscle cars are that are being made moving forward, right?
Right. Right.
And I think that's the challenge because
That are
in
being
some
made.
instances, think about what that was happening here. Some of our super and hypercars have moved away from some of their bigger motors. Although Ferrari and Lamborghini have held on to their 12, their 10, at least Lamborghini's 10 is gone, right? And
Right.
replaced it with an 8. They went with a smaller motor. And Ferrari has introduced the 6. And as a matter of fact, McLaren introduced it on the mainstream before Ferrari actually. I'll say before they did, but I think that's kind of loose. Then because they had that motor back in the day, and they used it with Alpha as we talked about. Um, but with the Artero, they introduced that 6 and used that 6. Ford have put the 6 in the GT, right? So the 6 started hitting spaces that skipped muscle car. Because with the GT, it's considered a supercar. So it skipped GT car, it skipped sports car, it went straight to you know what I mean? So and same with the McLaren. I think that there's a skewed look or focus where you got to turn your head a little bit to the left and squint and hold your left foot up, and then it's gonna look like what you needed to look like. That's kind of where we are, and I think that with what the automakers are bringing to the table, we are in a very interesting time when it comes to automotive, and I think that there's a big shift happening, that EV has brought to the table that start allowing for smaller displacement and still create and maintain all that great power from super and hypercars. It all trickles down. I just think that we're in such an interesting place that is going to change how we look at muscle cars.
Well,
Personally,
like
we can hold on to how we feel, right?
I mean, listen,
Man,
you can hold on to your feelings, but
yeah.
my favorite phrase is listen, you can't argue with facts. Argue with your mom. Argue with your mama because you can't argue with the facts. And the
In
fact of the matter,
New Orleans, we say argue with your mom.
and the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, car makers have to make for the future first and foremost. Then, secondly, things are changing, especially in Europe. The reason why they're downsizing the engines is because of the emissions.
Emissions. Yeah.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
They have no choice. Like a lot of people don't understand, Cadillac is making EVs so they can continue to make vehicles like the Escalade.
Yeah.
And they can continue to make vehicles like the CTS-V
Yep.
Blackwing. The only way they can make those vehicles is they get the credits for their mileage through the EVs.
On the other side, because
Right.
the two haven't intertwined quite yet.
Right. And
Yep.
that's what folks don't understand. Car makers just can't necessarily do whatever they want anymore. They got to meet these cafe standards still. Some of them has been lifted, but they still have to meet them. And the only way they meet them is on an average as a car maker.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Yeah. They find balance with the introduction of their EVs, some of the EVs that they brought to the table, right? That credit that they need to show that, hey, look, I'm playing the game. But they were brazen when you think about how the CT5, the CT6 maintain big motors, right? Maintain big motors. And the CT4, which is no slouch, got that six.
Right. That's the six with the twin turbo, which is which is how they're going to stay in the game. But
Yeah.
at some point, they're going to have to start looking at that CTSV Blackwing. It survived for another year, surprisingly.
Yeah, and I think what I think is going to be interesting as well is the ability for Cadillac to adapt. And I think that where they can fall into interesting space because of the relationship with GM is that borrowing some of that technology from Corvette, right? If they could borrow some of that tech, the CT5 is literally a four-door Corvette. If they can borrow some of that technology from Corvette, now you're looking at a car because that motor, that 6.4 is going to be used, and it's already talking about using that in the next Camaro. So when you think about what they created with that motor, the sound, the power, the possibilities, it can carry over to so many different platforms. Cadillac can definitely benefit from it. Think about how Cadillac has been riding the wave of that LT4 for such a long time.
Now
That LT4 is being used today. And the
here's the thing.
Cadillac Escalade in the CT5 and the CT6. And real quick, I think that some of the modernization and styling and look, I think that's important. That allows us to see what a category is. But you got to think most of those categories was not just that. It was just like what Willie said, man. It was the sound. It was the big motor. It was a performance thing, not just a look thing. Cause look could be looks. You can have many cars that look amazing that don't fit the bill because they don't perform and they don't
Correct.
have the right sound, or they don't. Again, muscle cars or something, you could close your ears and hear them coming around the corner, and oh man, I know what that is, right? Yeah, it's more than just a look, in my opinion. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro. What up, IS?
So you mentioned the Corvette engine. Now, engineering, just speaking with my engineer hat on, that engine placed in a front engine car would have to go back to similar to a torque tube Yeah, I would imagine.
If not a torque tube, a drive. It could have a normal drive shaft, a normal drive train, similar
Mm.
to connecting that transmission to the back of the motor that provides the drive shaft to propel the rear tires. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that's a lot of power for a
I wouldn't
CTSV.
say probably not the 1,000 horsepower joints. Not, I'm
Okay.
not excluding it. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. Um, but that's all it is adding that motor and some screws on the front, some turbos, twin turbo solution.
Yeah, I mean the engine
Think
itself.
about what Germans are doing that now. They already have the um, twin turbo sedans that are on the market. They've been doing it for a long time, right? I believe that with the Cadillac, us not having the same level of emissions that they have, they could pull it off. They could definitely pull it off.
But the Germans been doing it basically by using all-wheel drive on their big sedans like that.
Hmm.
So would Cadillac consider all-wheel drive
That's a
to
good
kind of
question.
help to distribute some of that power?
Because all it's going to do is spin the crap
Spin.
out of those tires. That what they do today. Because I want to say Cadillac is producing just around 650, probably like
I
670
think
now.
it's six. I think it's 668. That Blackwing.
Around 60, yep, around
Yeah,
670.
six
So
sixty eight.
I'm thinking traction is probably an issue. Even they probably got all kind of electronics to keep that thing, get it to hook. And if you
I
unlock it
mean,
anymore, it's gonna be even crazier.
it's 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 possible. I mean, of course. See, but now you're talking about taking the car completely out of reach with price. I mean, listen, we know car manufacturers can do whatever they want with cars these days. The question is, can they do it and keep it where someone can actually reach it?
I don't think it takes it that far to price, especially because all you're doing is you swap. LT4 ain't no slouch.
Oh, I agree 100%.
So if they move from an LT4, which is a 6.2 supercharged, to the LS, the new LS, I can't remember 9. I can't remember what they call it, but a 6.7 liter with two screws with twin turbos. I don't think you really you're not. I don't think you're going too far left from a price perspective. I think the power will offer a premium, but I don't think it takes. I don't think it takes the car completely out of accessibility where people can't afford it anymore. People that buy that car, they want what it does. We living in a world where so many people are looking for more economical cars. Believe it or not, more people are buying economical cars, SUVs, small SUVs, and EVs than they are buying all that real heavy muscle stuff. And what Cadillac is producing with the CT4, CT5, and CT6, these are not slouches, and they're still selling them. They're still producing them. So if they could take the 5 and the 6 and they move from the LT4, and who knows if they would, you know what I mean? It works for them right now. And the Escalade, excuse me, let's not forget about the Escalade. It's been working for them for so long, and look at the power that they're getting from that motor. I mean, from the Escalade V.
Oh, the Escalade V is ridiculous.
Same motor though. It's
Same
the
one, yep,
same motor
same
that's
one.
in 3 vehicles that originated in the Corvette Z06. So when you think about that and what they're able to do, how versatile that motor is, and God, how dependable it is, they're still using it, right? For them to
Which
move to something else, and I think that again, having that LS being just like the LT4 was a test bed in a Corvette, and then moving to Cadillac, this could be the same thing that could happen. Not saying it would. That could happen with the LS.
Lefty in the building. We got a few comments.
Yeah, I'm getting there, man. Consider he say I consider the Charger as a foot family fast car, not a muscle car. I agree with you. I think that's exactly it is. I think it's a people mover that goes fast. That goes really, really fast. Mr. Rock the Music, sorry about that, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, my brother.
By the way, he still don't have the track on the road.
Are you serious? You lying, bro. Are you gonna pick it up?
I'm gonna go steal
Go
it.
get it, man. Go get it, man. You play too much, man. Idea the customer the muscle car market purchase is dying. It becoming only enthusiasts. That's a very good statement because it's not for everybody. And this mark and where we are from an economical perspective, especially with gas prices, many people consider gas prices when they think about their next purchase. All these big motor cars, they like premium fuel, and most of them require it. So a lot of people aren't jumping into that side of the house or into that off the porch into that world, especially when they know that they're going to pay a premium just to drive the car, not for ownership, just to drive it. It's a premium. So, dying breed, I think there's a strong challenge to who's buying those cars today. It's enthusiasts. I believe that that's who's getting them. It's going to be enthusiasts. Somebody that already know what they want. Lefty's in the building. What's going on, Lefty? The enforcers in the building. They could. Well, I mean, it's possible. It's very possible because think about the power that's coming out of the Cadillac, same motor. But why would you? It
Right.
makes you probably won't have a very drivable car. Your driving experience is going to be challenging for somebody that is not ready or used to that power. I think that maybe this is something. The V is V series is already a performance package by itself, and it is no slouch. The average driver is not used to that power. Will not be used to that power. Enthusiasts will be ready for more, but they probably are going to get more using that platform as a starting point. But the average driver or average enthusiast and not non-enthusiasts, they're not ready, man. They're not ready for that.
I think social media.
He say snitch.
I think YouTube, social media. I think it's kind of skewed people, the average person's view on what kind of horsepower their car should have. Like people believe that everybody is running around here with 1,000 horsepower cars when that's far from the truth.
You know what the average is right now?
Five,
I'll say four and a half.
that's about right.
I'll say four and a half. That's about average,
And
and
I'm
that's a
I'm
high
I'm
average.
I'm always gonna I'm always gonna err on the side of stock, because for me, stock equals longevity.
Mhm.
And I think once you start to tinker with things, I think you're slowly but surely sliding down the hill of some type of problem with your engine or some type of catastrophe coming up soon with your car. It's
I
only a
think
matter of time.
so. Here's what I think, and I agree with that to some degree. And here's where I defer. I believe that OEM Plus is always a great place to be. Car makers put cars into a very, very safe place so that they can last long. I agree with you. They will last longer. They will do what they still do what they're supposed to do. There is a space where performance can be opened up a little bit without hurting the car. It it challenges emissions more, but the car performs a little bit better and still in a safe place, right? I believe that. I believe there's a safe zone. Um, but I believe also that a lot of these cars at a OEM state are absolutely phenomenal performers as they sit. You buy a you buy that Ford 350, the Mustang, you buy the 500, you buy a Corvette, you buy a lot of these cars already have crazy power. Like we just talked about, you buy the Cadillac CT5. They come with crazy power already, right? That when you look at how YouTube glamorizes, and you again, when you find your favorite YouTuber, most of the time they're not driving what you drive. They're
Nope.
driving elite cars, or they're driving stuff that's, you know, that we dream about, the things that we will aspire to own someday. So those cars are always going to be. So if we group up all the YouTubers, which is a snapshot of the world, literally, of not even a snap. These are iota of the average. They're not the average, right? You
Exactly.
talking what, 2%, top 2%, right? And they got all these elite cars that we some have a tendency to glamorize. Oh, this one is that, the Lamborghini, this, the Ferrari, that, the da 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 da. The challenge is that we're looking through the eyes of something that's not real. It's not real. It's a story. It's them, it's a character in most cases. Most of these guys don't talk the way they talk every day. Like, you meet some of these guys in person, they don't sound the same. They just not the real. That's a character. But it's the business that they're in. They may be car guys, whatever the case may be, and they're driving these amazing cars. But you still got to understand, these guys do that for the views, and it allows them to maintain the lifestyle that they have. They're not average cars. Your
Right.
average supercar, uh, average sports car driver are not driving 600-700 horsepower cars every day. They're driving 400, 4.5. I'm telling you, the numbers
I
will baffle you.
agree. I agree because, well, like
They
some of
always
the YouTube and that I gravitate to, like
good point. Is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
legit street cars, is most of the cars that he drives and owns are cars that the normal guy can consider.
Great
I
example.
I can get that.
Great example. And his, if you look at all the cars he have, and you look at the horsepower of all those cars, he's averaging around, out of all his cars, around 4.5 out of all his cars. He's got some high power cars. He got some 600 horsepower cars. He's got some, the Trans Am is crazy. He's got some high power cars. But most of the other lower end cars, they're not that high. As a matter of fact, he's probably inching up a little bit higher with some of the cars he has. Because some of the cars he has came from factory 500 horsepower plus.
Right. I think he has
AMGs.
the AMG.
He got more than one AMG.
He
What,
has three of
two,
them.
three AMGs, and
Right.
all
One,
those are over 500 horsepower
but the
from
thing,
the factory.
but look at it though. A lot of those are 10 and 15 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's something that the average person can say, hey, you know what? I can actually go out and get a 15-year-old AMG and make it drivable.
hmm
Make it, and make it
yeah. He
something that I can tool around in on a daily basis. Yeah, that's what draws me towards his channel. It's kind of about as real as you're gonna possibly get with what he does and what he drives.
agreed. Alex, the stuff that Alex has, the stuff that he aspires to get, they're all obtainable cars. He's looking for the absolute greatest deal in the world when he's looking for what he's looking for. Some of the cars that he mentioned that he's still looking for. Like, this dude looking for these cars daily, like for real, looking for these cars daily. They're still obtainable cars, but he wants the deal that goes along with it. The perk that Alex has is that he knows how to fix those. He knows how to use his hands, and which is, again, one of the motivation. He motivates you to go out there, just like you said. I can go get me this 10, 15, 20-year-old car and put it back on the road and enjoy it and drive it based on what I just saw Alex do. He like will motivate you to think you can do this stuff. Like right now, I think I can right now open up shop in the garage, bro, and act a fool. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been looking at some AMGs thinking I can do that. Let me go get some this stuff to soak the pistons with and pull something off. What are you using? But some WD-40, some transmission fluid, and what else? I'm just
Yeah.
saying, when you think about what he does and what he's making magic, man. And I'm supposed to be going to visit his shop. I'm probably gonna try to get over there. I gotta hit my guy up. I gotta hit his I'm gonna
His
hit up
editor,
his
right?
editor. I'm gonna probably try to hit him up this week. I gotta see what all I got going on. I got a couple of things. I gotta go see Reggie tomorrow. But I want to go see the new shop. I do want to see the new shop. I'm supposed to be letting him drive the vet. Alex drive the vet. We just gotta coordinate on that because that's one of the things he wants. He wants a Z06. He loves the Z06, C7 Z06.
Yeah, even that AMG GT, he got it at a good price, and at the time, it's still reasonable for an average person to go out and get a AMG GT. You know, for
Agreed.
so it's
Oh,
not.
right now, those cars, the prices have come so far down. You can get an AMG GT for 50, 60.
Yep.
AMGTs has come down in price like you would not believe. So
Now the
what you
crazy
saying
part.
right here on this statement,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. They would have to sacrifice most. You got to think, especially non-enthusiasts, um, people our age, man. They running on that space of fixed income. They're not trying to go outside of the budget, so they trying to not go too far. Especially a non-enthusiast, they're trying not to go too far outside the curve to get what they want. In most cases, they're not driving V8s. In most cases, they're not driving V8s unless they got a people mover like a SUV and then some of the SUVs now they come with 4s and 6s.
Yeah, most of the SUVs coming out now, if it's not high performance, more than likely it's going to be a turbo four,
Yeah,
and it's sad the way that's happening. It's very sad. Either you're going to have high performance, or you're going to have a four-cylinder turbo.
yeah.
There's hardly any in between.
But the turbo became the equalizer, and where
Yeah,
you lose the sound, but you still get the performance.
yeah, and of course the car manufacturers win a little bit by the gas mileage.
A lot by the gas mileage. And here's the other thing: most of those cars still naturally aspirated V8s, or and we're not talking high performance, just the ones that they're doing in cars, naturally aspirated V8s, your turbo sixes or turbo fours are all landing somewhere around 350, 400 to 450 horsepower.
Yeah, most of them are 300 and up. Yep, most of them are 300
I
and up.
remember when 350 was crazy. Like, what? 350 horse? That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's unreal.
The first Mustang that I had, my New Edge Mustang, was only 260 horsepower. That was in that was pre 9/11, so that was like 2000. Yeah, yeah, somewhere in that range. Yeah, the year 2000 was 260.
I was shocked that that doggone Trans Am I had only had 200 something horsepower.
They got
I thought
minivans.
it was so much more.
They got minivans with 300 horsepower.
Many, bruh. You're right. You're absolutely right. Oh my
Oh man,
God. Not just
260.
look, minivans, family station wagons. I mean, well, hot hatches are a whole nother ball game now, but everybody knows here having a V8 here in Texas. Yeah, I know. Most of that's trucks too. Yep, had that 50. Ooh. You did an exhaust on that thing yet, Lefty?
But even in trucks, even in trucks now, if you look at Chevy, I don't know what's going on with GM as far as trucks. They done completely lost their way. Their trucks, the nerve to put a four banger turbo in a truck. I guess this is why they're not selling. And now they have to redevelop the eight now because of the problem that they had with the L87. So they're gonna be kind of out of the truck game as far as V8s for a hot minute until they come. I'm looking for them to go with that 6.6 that they put
6.7
in 6.7 that they put in the Corvette. I look for them to
might be
circle
it.
back
That
and put
might
it back
be
in
it.
the truck. I
And
see
here's the
them.
crazy part. Here's what I think might happen. I think you're gonna see more turbo sixes in trucks than you'll see that big motor, unless you
Well,
got an
yeah.
HD.
Well,
And I
Ford
say
is.
that because even truck drivers want to try to find a way to save on fuel. And that center deactivation that happened with the one of their big recalls was the issue. It was killing the motor. It was killing the motor. But it was, when it worked, it saved on gas. Drove like a 4-cylinder when you're cruising, but it killed the motor.
I think Ford has pretty much proven that you can be very successful with a V6 turbo
Absolutely.
truck.
Absolutely.
They've kind of they've shown the way like it can work. It can work. You
I
know,
agree with you. I agree with you here. Absolutely agree
because
with you
now
here.
here's kind of the cheat code that I put my guy onto. Let's say you're a guy, you're not
Yep, Lefty.
necessarily
Yep. I'm listening to you though.
you're not necessarily into a coupe, or you're trying to figure out a way to get performance. I've said it and I'm gonna keep on saying it. A single cab truck is nothing
That's
but a
cheat
sport.
code.
It's a sports car with a bed on it.
Call it the Mexican GTR, bro. That is a cheat code, bro.
So just think
Big
about it.
cheat code.
If you want a daily, but you don't
Lefty
want
been
to,
talking about single cab trucks for a long time, man.
yeah, if you want a daily and you don't want to be flashy with a sports car, but you love power and you love performance,
Cheat code. Quick and
that's the
easy.
cheat code.
You can get a rear wheel drive only, or you can get an all wheel drive truck, and you will have the same level of performance. Cheat code.
That's the cheat code. Yep, that is a cheat code, and you don't even have to go to. Listen, you can just go with a V8, with a V8 single cab, all wheel drive. I'm telling you, that is the way to go.
But if you want to take it to that next, get the Coyote. Why not?
Exactly,
Get the Coyote and have some fun with.
and this is
God,
why
imagine imagine putting that 6.7 liter in a single cab Chevy.
that's why I'm not understanding how Chevy just
Woo!
lost its way with trucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I think that they tried to control it too much. Ford was allowing for that level of modularity where you were able to go and order that, man, the way you want it. I don't know why. I don't know if that was an option with GM or not.
Uh, I've seen a
Literally
few
use a
single
Bentley
cab.
as a daily driver for real.
Yeah, as long as you know how to fix it.
Yeah. Mostly Audis. Yeah, man. And what's crazy is, and it's smart when you think about it, bro. Um, those are cold weather capable vehicles. They've been designed and built all-wheel drive. That all-wheel drive it isn't for launching. It's for traction. It's for cold weather. It allows you to drive that car literally year round, right? Germans aren't playing. They know what they're doing. That's what they use out there. Those cars are everywhere because that's their local car, right? Their domestic product, and they work in cold weather.
Yeah, that's why I say geographically speaking, it's gonna kind of determine
I think
what
it's
you
possible,
drive.
bro. I think it's possible. Here's the thing. Now you said if you could fix it, Willie, Bentleys don't break if you're driving them. They don't break like that if you drive them.
That's very true.
The people that I know and I there's he was called a jury guy. He drove a Bentley with all the supercars, and he drove his car all the time. He wasn't having issue with his car. It was his daily driver, right? There was another cat I didn't run into. I saw him Vin Wiki that had a daily driver. He was up there upstate. He was up around you guys. That he drove his Bentley daily. Did not have a problem with that car. It was his daily driver. When you drive them, man, they don't break like that. I'm telling you.
I can contest to that. I mean, sometimes you have.
Yes, sir,
I think
Lefty.
a lot of people just get these cars sometimes and they just don't want to drive them. For whatever reason. I mean, I drive my car sometimes because I have to. Sometimes become too complacent with what you have, not understanding the uniqueness of the vehicle that you have.
Right?
Not everybody's running around with a Z06.
True.
And sometimes you lose your way. You're like, hey, I drive it every day, so it's not a big deal until you get in it and someone else appreciates it, and then you go, you know what?
No, that's
You're right.
facts. You're
You're
absolutely
right.
facts.
Yeah.
That that's facts. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, and I think that comes from us being a little bit numb to having these things, right? These cars. We're enthusiasts and we get into this stuff and it feels different to us because it feels normal because of what we're used to, right? But then when someone's that's looking from the outside that aspire to have this kind of stuff, there's a humble that happens. It becomes humbling because it's like I'm thinking, I worked my butt off and I wanted this and yada yada yada. Now I'm just enjoying the car that I wanted. But then there's somebody like, oh man, I would, I'll give my left kidney to have that thing, and you think, man,
Yeah.
it's just a
Yeah.
car, right?
Yeah.
But it's more than that for those people. And I'll never downplay the fact that, bro, we got some amazing cars. Let's
Oh.
let's just be real. Like these are not everyday cars. They're really not, right? So when we have things like what we have, and people from the outside looking in at these things, they look at that's goals. That's what I want. Like them YouTubers we were just talking about. That's the stuff. Boom, 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 boom. If I had to think about it, my average horsepower out of the two cars I have is around 600 horsepower. That's the average between the both of them.
Right.
And that's well above the average of all the cars that are out there, man. So I'm used to this high horsepower stuff. I'm not afraid of having to pay for gas. It's what I wanted to get, and it doesn't hurt. Like it doesn't feel the same, right? Because of that enthusiast inside of me. We still look at other cars that takes us to the next level all the time. I can't tell you the rabbit hole I went down yesterday looking at Porsche. I gotta tell you what I came up with though. But when you think about that and how that feel, man, it's just different. It's just a different space, an entirely different space. Um,
For me, and I say it all the time when I talk
yes,
with
sir.
my guy. He- I can't see me going to a like with the 350. I'm like, wait a minute. What would I trade this for if I had to?
Mm,
And I have a hard time saying that I would trade it for something.
really? You have nothing else that comes to mind.
It's just for me. the 350 is just it's just a combination of everything that I love that I like about a car. Sound, handling, and people that don't understand the 350, they think it's all right. It's just a regular another Mustang
No,
that doesn't
that's a
handle.
track car, man. That's a
But
track weapon.
and that's what I say. I say to myself, okay, would I like a GT 500? Sure, but then I'm like,
Yes, Lefty.
well, the GT 500 is like sitting in another Mustang. Will I truly enjoy moving up to a 500 when I've basically come from the same car? I think Show said it one time. He went through that with his C8. He was like, "Well, if
He
I go
did.
to
I
another
remember that.
C8, if
Yep.
I go to another C8, am I gonna
Like,
feel like
I'm sitting in the same car basically,
right?
and he preferred getting, if he had to go to another C8, he wanted at least the new interior. He wanted the new interior. At least let me feel like I'm in something different.
Right. So for me, I'm like, I would probably have to go completely different
Oof,
direction. I mean, I would love a C8, but if I'm gonna go C8, it's gonna be the Z06.
bruh. I just got finished editing my video from this weekend. The owner of the GM of the dealership that I went to, he had one of his salesmen bring his Z06 on the dyno. The sounds that this thing makes, I got to
Hmm.
give it to him, man. It's just all the in between sounds that you miss. I was able to hear that. It's just different. It feels different.
It's
It
different.
sounds like a bat hitting a blanket, wet blanket.
It's
Sometime like
different.
it's different, man. It's just different. So let me, and I want to ask you this, since and this is literally something I was about to ask you just before we landed on that space. So I understand, I feel you when it comes to a pop. How do you replace the GT5, the 350, right? If there was a daily, what would be your non-conventional daily? If you had an opportunity to get a car, we talked about this Bentley. What would be a car that you would say, you know what, I'd drive that sucker daily?
Oh, it is. It would definitely
That won't
be
be conventional. It's got to be something like, man, what?
Turbo S.
Turbo S?
Not even a question. It's a open and shut case.
My
There-
brother
There's there
from
is
another
no
mother.
better, and people can argue. And again, I will keep saying, argue with your
42K.
mama. There is no
Yes.
better car daily that can do just about any and everything you want with whoever you want than a Turbo S.
So
No question.
let me tell you the rabbit hole that I went down. Hold up. Let me get through some of this real quick. And I'm gonna get down this rabbit hole. I gotta catch up real quick. Men single cab, next person,
Yeah,
definitely.
single cam.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, this is what my man Z just bought, man, over at Crown Customs. That's what he pulled off right there. 5.0 with a Whipple, straight from factory. Like, absolutely mind blowing. And he building this car, this truck, in this next level. I'm not just talking to Shelby. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. You can build what you want. Here's a really cool part. It's gonna be lighter than that because they throw all this extra stuff on those trucks.
Yeah.
Inclines and declines, two
All-wheel
all-wheel
drive.
drive,
Yeah,
better, fat, safer.
that's a
Especially
fact.
up here in the Midwest. All-wheel drive is always, in my opinion, a smart decision to make for a year round. This is a great daily conversation. I like this conversation. Year round. Maybach as a daily driver is crazy but cool as
Crazy.
all get out. It is crazy but cool as all get out. I would agree with you. All right. Hold up. Gotta check my man out.
He
I was
said I
about
was
to.
about to a group of cars. would make you not want to look into a purchase for 6 years if you have it. Yeah, Turbo S. The answer is still Turbo, just like the answer is Miata,
So
Turbo S.
look,
Turbo
all right.
S,
Let
Turbo
me talk
S.
about my rabbit hole, man. So
What did you do?
for some reason, man. So I've been down. I got listen. I'm 100 and 85% with you with the Turbo S, like for real, like Turbo S, and then the uh Carrera 4 GTS, right? These are the two cars that really I've been really paying attention to. And what's crazy is, let me tell you the reasons why. Turbo S, of course, has the new Turbo S, especially has the hybrid turbos, right? Um, the Carrera 4 GT has a single hybrid turbo. I had a guy that I talked to about that at the Porsche event. That he's a Porsche driver. He got a base Porsche, but he drove that and was like, "Man, that's a whole lot of car." And that was just the that was a Carrera 4, right? Which and again, let me back up because it is above average. It is making over 500 horsepower to all four wheels, right? So that's just something to consider. As I was going down this rabbit hole and paying attention to looking at these cars, I had this epiphany that hit me. One of the challenges I have with the Turbo S is that, man, that sticker is no punk. Like it don't play from a price perspective, right? So I was like, all right, man, let me. And for some reason, I don't know why I never looked at. It's gonna sound crazy. Never looked at, even considered the turbo. I'm like, why haven't I looked at just the turbo? Like, what was I thinking? So I went down this rabbit hole of what ifs, and I did my comparisons. I stepped away from the Turbo S. I said, let me not look at the Turbo S. Let me look at the Turbo, and I did my comparisons with the Turbo
And the
and the
Turbo.
GT, the Carrera 4 GTS. From a price perspective, although you could probably save about on the Carrera 4 GTS about 20, 30 grand in some instances. They all kind of land around the same space, just at 200, right? Here's the difference. Especially with Turbo S, what, two and a half? You ain't gonna find a Turbo S less than 2.5, 275.
Exactly.
They up there, right? So I found I found some turbos, 191, 201, 203. And then I was like, horsepower, decent. It's not Turbo S horsepower, but they're off like 15, 20 horsepower. It's not that difference, right? Really not that different. Um, but then I look at DME tuning. We talking stage one tune, like real simple,
Very,
right?
very
We're
light
not
tune.
talking about going that far, right? Stage one tune on a turbo. We talking a 21, 22, 23, 710 horsepower, 700 foot-pound of torque. I'm like, man, I didn't find my solution. I know what direction I'm going when I get my Porsche. Like, for real. Like, when I tell you, looking at these numbers blew my mind. And you talking adding 3 grand on top of this ticket to get 150 horsepower. All-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, and DME don't push the car beyond where it needs to be.
Exactly. Exactly.
DME are very safe, and for a safe tune, one of the safest tune. People don't go DME because it doesn't give them that much. That's the problem that they have with DME. They want way more. They want more control. They want to go deeper into the horsepower bands. If you compare DME to some of the other brands, most of those guys are probably um, outperforming DME by sometimes 50 horsepower, depending on the car, right? Let's say by 20, maybe 20%, 20 to 30, maybe 40% more horsepower in some instances. But they're also pushing the car to a whole nother level. And here's what I'm telling you: this is 150 horsepower, and I still said this is stage one. That means no catalyst downpipes. I am talking stage one. I was like, what? So I scratched Turbo S off my list and
Okay.
went to Turbo. As a matter of fact, because it landed in such a really cool price point, I've scratched the Carrera 4 GTS off my list as well and only focused on Turbo. The price point and the performance plus what I plan on doing to it and getting out of it anyway. And we still talking 15,000 miles on the car when you get it. woo woo. Woo 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 woo.
Hey, that's it.
And
That's
DME is reversible. You can put the DME on there, pull it off when you're ready to get rid of it. Porsches are not depreciating.
oh
That's
no,
the other thing. I
not
can
not
drive
no
that
time
car for
soon.
2 years, possibly for free.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So I'm right there with you when you come to that turbo. I don't need the S. I'm gonna grab the S. I'm gonna just look. I'm gonna grab the S like your boy. Don't
Yeah.
need the S, man. When I look, bro, when I tell you I was down that rabbit hole, bro. Sean, look, I had to talk to Sean. Sean had to talk me down, man. Look, man, you might, man, just close it, man, because I can hear it in your voice. So if
Yeah.
I had to, if I was in a position where it was like, okay, what would I replace Zeus with? I would miss that exhaust. But that performance that you begin from that Porsche would be so next level, bro. Um, and I say this, I love my exhaust. So I absolutely and humbly sympathize with you because my favorite exhaust comes out of a Mustang. I love the sound of Mustangs, man. That exhaust sounds amazing, especially the 350, GT350. I
Yeah.
love the exhaust,
The
man. So
350, the 350.
that's the hardest part for me, but I
That's why
think
I
I
can't.
get over it.
You think so?
I
I
think I
don't.
get over
I don't know.
I think I get over it. I miss Zeus sounding like that, but to get the car that I want, to get a turbo with the DME, I can add exhaust, throw on intake, I get a little bit more power and noise. It'll be a little different, but man, let me tell you, the respect that that car will get over Zeus is next level too.
Yeah.
Porsche blur the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. I guess the 350 was kind of a has always been the unicorn. Like you know what they
It
say.
is.
You never
That's
meet
the
your
one that I
hero.
feel like you don't get rid of.
Yeah. I can't see me getting rid of it.
No,
I just
you
don't.
have to add, man. I think you might have to add to that.
See, but here's the problem: when you live up here in the Northeast, I can't duplicate rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's kind of I can't. It's no way. It's not going to be feasible for me to have two rear wheel drive vehicles in the driveway because
But
that's
that
two vehicles that's not moving during the winter.
my point. But here's what I believe. And I say this, man, because it's the way I think. If I had the E-Ray, I drive it year round. I will be that one that all the Porsche guys, Corvette guys look like, what is wrong with this guy? Got this. I will drive it year round because it's all-wheel drive. Why not? I will throw winter tires on that thing and drive it year round. The Porsche would not be a summer car. I would drive it year round, bro. It's all-wheel drive. It's a German car that's made to be in all types of weather. Only thing I would make sure I do up here, because we have salt, is I'll make sure I'll keep that. I have to get it undercoated, and I'll make sure I just keep it clean as possible to get that salt, so I don't get any extra unnecessary corrosion.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Well,
man, I would be all right with two Germans. Like for real, for real. I would be all right with two Germans. If it came to a point where I had if it ever got to that point, you made the statement, and then that's what made it come through me. If I had to think about a replacement for Zeus, turbo
okay, but now let's say
911.
something. Is there anything conventional you would replace it with? See, because that's what the question is. Like, I mean, it's obvious. If someone were to come to
Let me
me,
ask you. So when you say conventional, are you are we stepping away from big motors? Or are we just saying conventional, something that is non-sport car?
uh,
Can we still have performance?
you can still have performance, of course, absolutely. Performance, something in the same, maybe slightly above, or adding something, either adding performance or adding horsepower, or maybe adding another two doors, even possibly. See, but that's the issue when you own cars like this. You don't have a lot of lateral movement. You have
CTS,
there's no way
CT5,
for you to go. CT5 black.
CT5. I will go CT5. CT5. At one point, I was like, man, how dope would it be to have a vet and a CT5?
See
But
that
that's
that's
two rear-wheel drive cars. So
that
now I'm
see
in this pickle in foul weather, right?
that's it, and
What's the
that's
other
the
side for me? M5, M5
thing.
M5 and the X5M. So replacing Zeus for an M5, four
and
doors.
and this is why I don't necessarily, maybe I
People
don't know
like
what
horses.
American manufacturers are looking at. They're not looking at that space of performance all-wheel drive V8 vehicles.
He said
I, I've
liar.
never I've never understood that.
Would you say?
I've never understood American manufacturers where they leave that space of all-wheel drive V8 performance vehicles.
Because the country, most of the country isn't that we don't have a greater need for it.
But
Most
the
of our
audience,
country don't get that type of weather that will require it.
but the audience is there because because of how demographics are changing, right?
Hmm.
Because people
I think there's a
are
lot of other
looking
things that come into
at
place too. But
Germans,
go ahead.
right?
Yeah.
Look at when they go to the Germans all-wheel drive V8 or turbo V6s. Imagine if American manufacturers had a competitor. I'm not saying it would equal, but I'm saying they would create a brand new category and a brand new niche of people. Because I had a Chrysler. I had the Chrysler Hemi, right? It wasn't performance, but it was a space where you had an all-wheel drive V8 and you didn't have to have a Benz or BMW.
Right.
And that
Right.
car
It filled that
was
space.
filled the space. And I'm like, why would they let that space go when there's an audience there?
Yeah.
There's an audience there.
A lot of you, and here's the crazy part when you really think about it. Dodge had that space available, and they made it. That car became more of a fleet vehicle. It was a truck patrol vehicle. So cops got to get the Hemi with the all-wheel drive,
And do you know how many
but it
people
wasn't
right
regularly
now?
available to us.
You know how many people right now would love
Love
to
that a lot.
go and get
I
that
know
car
people that are scouting them and looking for them now. The
now.
biggest challenge is making sure that the interior ain't all jacked, but they can
Yeah,
always replace that. It all come with that screen that's this big too.
but but you can take it out
You can
and
modernize it.
modernize back to the newer screen. It's just you
Absolutely. You can
pull the
that
panel up.
entire interior you can make it look like the new car.
Yeah. So that's where I think I'm like, And it's proven. You had the Cadillac ATS-V,
Yes.
4 door,
Yep.
big seller. That car
Yep.
sold.
Yes, it did.
And I'm saying to myself, even Ford, with examples of the SHO, although it wasn't VA8, it sold.
Yeah, and that started with the 4 or 500.
Why would you not? And this is where I think GM is headed with the Camaro. I think that Camaro is going to be all-wheel drive V8.
And I literally kept this question on the screen from IS because I believe that Camaro could be that car that takes on some new space and takes on some new challenges. Dodge offers all-wheel drive. It's a selectable all-wheel drive solution, right? So the new Charger, you can go rear-wheel drive, Challenger, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with that car. It just doesn't have the sound or the noise. It has enough power. It just don't have the popular sound that comes with that level of power. Them taking Camaro, adding in 2 more doors, adding all-wheel drive capability, adding that 6.7 liter motor, it lands in a space that it would allow that car to fill space that is normally reserved for the Germans.
And this is, you know,
Camaro, by the way, IS
you,
Camaro.
you hear people like you hear the get off my lawn guys. Oh no, I would never listen. Nobody cares. You ain't buying
Yeah,
it anyway. But
right.
there's a space of people below 50, below 40 that would love to have an American V8 all-wheel drive, high performance type vehicle.
Yeah, because they already have an affinity for some of the German cars that are out there. What if they
Now,
can fill that space with the car, with a
yep.
domestic car that offers probably a little bit better reliability and maintenance is not so high?
And also
You don't
in
have to
price
get the tax.
because if you go out and you buy any German V8 sedan all-wheel drive, you better bring six
Agreed.
digits.
You have to all day long. All day long. And if they do this car right, if they do the Camaro to that perspective right, that should be a $70,000 car at the high end.
I see it probably maybe a little higher, maybe around 75.
I say in the 70s. I'll
70,
give it in the 70s. And I think
some
if you really want to take it to the next level, it'll probably be about a 85, maybe $90,000 car. But that's for
fully
me, all the
loaded.
bells and whistles. But
Right,
I
fully
think you
loaded.
can get what you want that'll be satisfactory. 75, 75. Let's call it 75.
Yeah. Or better yet, it may come in somewhere, let's
Would
say
be
slightly
nuts.
below a base C8, somewhere
I
about
think it
right.
should be around the base C8. I think
Yeah.
it should be somewhere around that space of a base C8. As a matter of fact, it should be not as expensive as a base C8 because a base C8 is a premium car. It should be a car that falls into a space of sports car, sports luxury, right? It shouldn't be. I think the Camaro should be just a little bit cheaper than that if it comes with those bells and whistles. And I say a little bit cheaper, but it could be in that space of the base C8. So I'll say give that fall into the space of the base C8. I agree with you. I agree. I agree. You really think about it, that makes sense, especially from that car. You're talking
So
something that's supposed to be a little bit higher end from the base Camaro. It should fit somewhere around the space of a base C8. Agreed.
now here's the thing, and it's one of
Yes,
these
sir.
hypothetical questions that we're probably never going to get the answer to. So when the C8 was launched, right before COVID,
Hmm.
the C8 was literally a $60,000 car,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Then, of course, the world turned upside down.
Chip shortage.
So let's say that never happened.
Okay.
would we have seen probably more C8s or more Corvettes in the category which GM intended to, which is the 40 and below crowd?
Yeah, yeah, because they priced when they started adding the tax, they priced out the target audience. Their goal was to focus on a younger audience with the Corvette,
That was the intention.
and they priced them out by the taxes, and that wasn't GM; it was the dealerships.
The dealerships, right, with the markups and so on. Right, I'm not blaming that on GM, but GM's original idea, and they were onto something because when you look back at it now, it's like, man, they were going to launch the C8 for 60, basic like $62,000 out the door.
Yeah, the base car
The
was like
base,
62, 60,
yeah,
62.99. So
yeah.
yeah, I remember that. I built my C8 when I was building what I wanted for the same price I paid for my Z06 for 74.
And
I
that was
built
probably, and that was at the three LT
Yep,
or two L, yeah,
it was
yeah.
a 3LT. I built the 3LT, white, black and red interior, um red calibers. I put everything in it that I wanted, and I didn't love it. That's the only problem I have. I did not love the car. I love the C7 more.
Now as we know, they had the Z06 in their pocket
Yeah,
when they made the
the C7.
original C8.
Hmm.
The Z06 was already done. It was like, oh yeah, hold on, we got something else for you.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking back to, like, imagine if could just COVID never happened, Z06s would be completely affordable.
yeah. So the Z06, in my opinion, would have been. They would have landed at the
80, 85.
no. I think there's still been 100 grand car.
Okay.
I think they still would have been 100 grand. I believe they would have been 120. Um, I think it'd have been about 120, 110, $120,000 car because of what you were getting, right? Especially, GM as they did promoted that car as a supercar killer. It went directly after Ferrari. It went directly after Lamborghini, right? So I think that would have added the tax that will push that car over 100 grand. Um, I think the C8 with the C8 base model C8, the E-Ray would have been that car that would have stayed under 100 grand or just
Mm.
at 100. I think that yeah, I think it should have been a car that stayed just at 100. It
Because
should have been the high end.
because the GT 500 was $72,000.
Yeah,
And I say to myself all the time, it just
agreed.
wasn't. That was the original purchase, but it just wasn't financially feasible for me to do it. So I went to the 350. And I'm just saying to myself, if I had have bought the 500, I'd have been driving it for free right now,
Yeah, literally, literally.
regardless of mileage,
Hmm.
because
But
you
here's the
can't.
other
You
side of it.
can't.
Because GM made so many vets, you couldn't have did it with the vet. You
Yeah,
couldn't have did it. They made too many, man. That car will not hold its value like that. What happens, especially with current year cars or current generation cars, they allow for previous generations to hold a little value. Like my car now holds a little bit more value. I'm like, wait, it went up? Like what? Again, very, very tempting for me. It went up. Very tempting. Very tempting. Um, Especially for a C7Z06, 17 and up. The other cars that really hit hard for when you think about GM is all the manuals all the manual C7s, but then the C7Z06, next level. Next level, man. They have a different price.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just it's because even now you can't find a 2020 GT500, regardless of mileage. You can't find one for 70 or less.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
I've never seen that in an American car in a long time that appreciated like that. Usually you find that from your Porsches, your Ferraris, and but this is one of the first times in my life that I've seen, other than of course the C701, that kind of took the same trend because that car was $100,000. I think it was like 110. You can't find that car right now. That car is being sold for 200,000.
Yeah, you find examples of that car for 200. High 100.
And matter of fact, at its peak, it was going for 300 at its peak during
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah, yeah. Nobody drives them. So they all low mileage cars. I mean, think about right. You talk about the C7 ZR1. The C6 ZR1 is still a six-figure car.
Oh, all day. All day.
And I believe, absolutely one of the best cars out there because
Oh,
I
that's one.
believe that
I
it's
think,
it's a
I think that's
far
one
more
of
drivable car, man.
the C601. I think will probably be one of definitely in the top 10 cars of my lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely, agreed. I think it's king of the hill. I still call that the king. That'd be grandpa, but that's the grandpa that you don't mess with. That's a bad dude, man. It really is a bad dude, even today.
Yeah.
Considering how it still handles the C7Z06, that tells me that not from a dig, but from a roll, it'll take down the new Z06.
Yeah, from a roll. Yeah,
From a roll, it takes it
from a
down.
roll. It's there's
That's an
there's
amazing car, man.
very few cars out there. You have you and these automakers, you know they're capable of doing things by some of the cars that they come out with. Even Dodge, Ford, Chevy, all of them, like they've all had their cars that basically break all expectations, starting with the Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Till this day, people still drool over that car.
Yes. And rightfully so. Some of those cars are like, and Ford has theirs. I mean, some of those cars are
Chevy has theirs.
timeless gems, man. Absolute timeless gems. Terminator, Super Snake still holds a very, very special place, right? The only problem is there's so many, and a lot of people don't take care of them.
Yeah, and then you got the ZL1, also a car that's super duper underrated. I don't know why people don't understand the ZL1 is a ridiculous car.
It
The
really
Z
is. The
the
problem is,
ZL1 in some cases is basically door to door with a C7 Z06.
it is not exactly because of the weight difference.
Right. It's the only thing is the weight.
The only thing is the weight.
But
The only thing is the weight.
people forgot about that car. Like, bro, don't ever forget, the Z. And on the track itself is probably
Oh, on the track is crazy.
one of the best track cars that you can buy
It
for
is.
that money.
I haven't seen like I haven't seen it because I know that the Z06 is overpowered for the track, but that car has the same powertrain as the Z06, same
Yep.
motor, same
Same
supercharger,
motor.
the whole nine. Except it has a 10-speed transmission. It has a better transmission, I think, which is the better transmission. Um,
Yeah, first gen. Yeah, your mama, you're absolutely correct. First gen Dodge Viper. That was another car that broke the mold.
Literally broke the mold. Like this thing is absolutely crazy. but it was also very scary. That was a scary car, man.
The
That car scared a lot of people. Most of those cars were destroyed.
what generation was the Z28 that came with the was it the original LT4?
Not a Z28.
The Z28 was supercharged at one point in time, right around the same time as
I thought that had a LSX. I didn't think it had a
no, it had an LSA, but it was
LSA.
supercharged.
Yeah, yeah, it had the
It
LSA,
was supercharged.
but it was an L.
That
It was an LS. It was an LS
it was an
motor. It wasn't an
LS, but
LT.
I believe it was that Z28 was supercharged. That's where the supercharged, like,
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
people
that
get into
because
this thing.
the ZL1 adapted that.
Correct, correct. But what people fail to understand is, I'm not taking anything away from the Hellcat, but people don't understand that this supercharged thing would happen way before the Hellcat.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden people go, oh, the Hellcat supercharged, bro. The Hellcat was Dodge was actually late to the game,
Yeah.
but when they did decide to enter the game, they entered correctly with, of course, the 707. But they were kind of late to the supercharging game because their Dodge's original 6.4 was not supercharged. That was the SRT 8. What do you think? Pontiac Firebird and Trans Am, vice versa. Same cars.
Yeah, they were the same.
Same cars. Same cars, your mama. Same cars.
Same platform. It was
That
just
was
whatever
back.
was under the hood was different.
Yeah, that was back in the day where they were duplicating same cars, different names. Viper was like Debo. You can beat it, but you better beat it. Yeah. The thing about the Viper is they had to soften up the Viper near the last generation
Yeah.
because it was so raw. They had to soften the car up.
They did a lot with the Viper, and it was probably a lot of technology behind it because it wasn't very streetable, right? Would they say the Viper was like Debo on the street? Yeah, very much so. It was not a fun car on the street. It was a race car on the street, which meant you'll be sideways half the time, right? When they started refining the Viper, when they landed, especially when they landed on, was it the third gen? People thought they made it too soft.
Yeah. Well, they kind of had to.
They had to. It was it
They
was
had.
way more car than it needed to be on the road. People
Yeah.
were getting bit by the Viper, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are some cars called Fox bodies?
The Fox body was only a Mustang.
Only on the Mustang.
Only on a Mustang. But the most interesting part, and of course, the younger generation, they're not really interested into the history of some of these cars. Most of these cars that we're talking about, especially the muscle cars, they were built based on the ego of the presidents that own these
Oh,
companies.
absolutely. It was purely ego.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was pure ego. It was
These
like, okay,
cars, they were based on egos.
come on. Think about that. Ego. Corvette they built the Corvette literally to take down Ferrari. That was the main reason why the vet was what the vet is today to take down Ferrari.
The
Viper was
the
like driving
the,
an F1
Mus- the
experience.
Mustang the Mustang was made for somebody's secretary.
Yeah, originally. Yes.
Go figure.
Yeah, originally. Yeah.
Originally, that has to be one of the wildest
No.
beginnings of a car ever. The car was made for the secretary, for the owner of Ford at the time.
Would I trade the Viper for? Would I trade the Z06 for the Viper? No, I wouldn't. It'll probably get more notoriety. It'll probably get more love out in these streets, but they're not the same car. And I don't feel like it's a step up for me. The
It's
the
not.
Viper
It's
would
not
not be a step up.
right. The Viper, you could only basically take it to Cars and Coffee and bring it back home.
I couldn't drive it
That's
the way I
it.
want to.
You couldn't
Would
drive it the way
not.
you want to.
It is not a fun car. It's fun. It's not. It beats you up, man. It's gonna beat you up. I could drive that vet all day long. And the reason why Porsche becomes so appealing to me is because these are drivable cars. They still are comfortable. They still you can drive it to the track, beat it up on the track, and then drive it home.
Yeah. Now that the C806 would probably be within reason the car I would come out of the 350 for.
That's not a bad move. That would not be a bad move because you're gonna get more performance, like different level of performance. You're gonna get that sound. You're gonna get a different level of comfort inside that car.
Yes.
You're gonna get more of a cockpit feel than you have in the
Yes.
Mustang.
That would be, in fact, that would be the most reasonable, within reach that I can say that I would actually, because of the sound,
Hmm.
because of its uniqueness of it, I'm basically getting the same thing but more.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. And honestly, although the GT350 is a great track car, it is not a Z06.
That's
That
two.
Z06 is a monster on the track, man.
It's
It's
two
an
totally
absolute
two totally
animal.
different worlds.
Yeah.
I tell
And
people all the time. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's maybe because of some. I think it's mainly because the Camaro went away. The next general natural competitor was a Corvette, but a Mustang and a Corvette is two totally different cars. It's
they're
not
not in the
even
same
the same
category,
category.
man. They so different. They are so different. But what's interesting is when they put the big three against each other, you usually see the vet alongside of, you don't see the Camaro, but you see the vet alongside of the GT500, and you see that along around the Hellcat. That's the three that you I can't talk, usually see. But you would think it would probably make more sense to have the ZL1 as a competitor because these are all pony cars. These all fall into that pony car category, right?
Exactly.
Um, but
Corvette is a GT car.
it is.
Truth be
It
told,
is.
the Corvette is a GT car.
That's exactly
People,
what it is.
I don't understand why people want to put a Corvette as a muscle car. The Corvette has never been a muscle car.
Never been a must. Always been a GT car. Always. And the part where people get frustrated is that it's actually, the performance lands is in muscle car space, but it's not a muscle car. It's a GT car.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when I was buying my Z06, if there was a Viper at the same price, would I still bought the Z06? Yes. The comparison, man, it's just they're two different animals, man. They really are two different animals. That Viper and that Vet, two different animals. I can drive my car like a lot. I couldn't do that, with that Viper. I couldn't. It's just people drive them things that shows a lot of time they can't wait to get out of them.
Right.
If
It's
they track them and they put them on the trail and they pull them home. They don't drive
it's
them home.
it's and it's the same thing with quote supercars and hypercars and whatever it is. Like
Just be
it's like
trouble. Yep.
saying, would you choose a Turbo S over a Revolto? Absolutely, I would.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
I can't get in and drive a Revolto
No, I
when
sure
I
can't.
want to do it.
Right. Yeah, that's it's a whole nother ball game. That maintenance on that Revolto is gonna hit you in the head.
But no,
Um,
it's just the overall
you talking about just the
feel
experience?
and the experience is
Yeah,
like people I'm a function person. I prefer function over form.
agreed.
Give me something that is going to work well over something that I can only use once or twice.
After hearing some of the experience of some of the guys with the Aventador, I was like, golly, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Better yet, bad enough I had a hard time fitting in that doggone thing. It became out of the space for me because it wasn't a comfortable car, not for long drive.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at anybody with them, you know.
Mustang was my love of a mod. Yeah, Mustang. You, I don't know anybody that keeps a stock Mustang except for me.
Everyone say the humiliation and
Well,
stress. Yeah, real talk.
I did
Most
make
people
upgrade.
touch them, man. I mean, it makes it because you can. The cool
I
thing
did
about
change.
those things
I
is that
changed.
it takes nothing to get additional power out of them. It's people
Right,
do it because it makes sense.
right.
Debo Slice, the six professional street fighter. Yeah, Viper owners. Oh, thank God, bruh.
Exactly. That's a very good way
Yeah,
to
for
put it.
real. Yeah, you
Yep.
ain't never joking, man. And you gotta realize something. The Viper, they literally made the Viper as a car that Corvette guys will graduate into, right? Um, and don't get me wrong, especially with the last generation, for the year that they finished making that car, it's still it's a beautiful car. It's just the other side of it, man. When you have to get in and you have to move that thing and be in it for periods of time, you're not going to have the same experience that you would in that vet.
Yeah. Yep.
At least,
Yep.
especially from a comfort perspective, man. That car got heated and ventilated seats, AC that I can run the whole time, a ridiculously crazy, great sounding stereo system. I come on, man. I'm gonna be comfortable for the whole ride. I've driven that thing to Pennsylvania and I did not feel like I had to get out of it and I didn't want to be in it. I could not wait to get back in it. Drove to Pennsylvania, came back. I could not wait to get back out in that car because the drive was so nice, man. Didn't want to race car best. Hellcats and Demons, Porsches versus Lamborghinis. They're in a different class. True. Those classes shouldn't be fair, and then you should raise cars in the same class. I think what happens is vet falls vets aren't really in that same class, but when you start looking at power and performance, people will put anything against something else if they believe they have something that can compete. That's like, why do they race some of these EVs against some of these petrol cars? They're in
Pointless.
different classes, but from a performance perspective, um, in some cases they compete. In some cases, it's a wash. Why even do it, right?
Because I like people have to really understand how EVs has kind of really. I'm not gonna say embarrassed ice cars, but I'm gonna say again with 0 to 60 time. I don't even want to hear or talk about 0 to 60 time because I think it's one of the
No,
most
from a dig,
pointless.
bro.
I
Not
think
from a
it's one of the
dig,
most
from a
pointless
roll.
stats
Yes.
you can talk about when you mention a car to me. When you toss
Yeah,
out
we've
something
we've
0 to 60,
landed in that space.
it's
Yeah, I'm
pointless.
sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's pointless to me because I can get in an EV and go 0 to 60 in on an average anywhere from 2.5 to 3 seconds.
Anybody can do it. All you gotta do is push the pedal.
So why are we talking about 0 to 60 speed? I'm like, that's pointless, bro. EVs have completely made a mockery of 0 to 60 times.
Bruh. Come on.
You got
Come
a
on.
you got a sedan, the Lucid Sapphire, that will straight embarrass any and supercar, you name them, Hellcats, demon. I ain't even talking about Hellcats. I'm talking
It
Pagani's
is
and
the
Bugattis.
fastest car in the US.
0 to 60.
It
Not
is
even
the
a question.
fastest car in the US.
The
0
car
to
runs
60 and a quarter mile.
quarter mile. The car runs nines in the quarter mile. Like, what are y'all talking
No,
about?
eights.
Eights.
Eight.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, it
eights.
run eights.
No,
Unreal
not
numbers.
but not only eights. Eights with his family in the car.
With a family in the car. Oh yeah, all 4 seats loaded. Everybody got a helmet on.
That's why when people talk, nah, I don't want to hear anything about 0 to 60, bro. Anything is attainable these days. It's to me, the new zero to 60 now is 60 to 130.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's the new benchmark for
That's
cars
yeah.
now.
You want to talk about that bottom man? So many of these cars are all-wheel drive. They launch and get out super crazy fast, especially with all the torque from the EVs. The deciding factor is when you equal the playing ground. When everybody's already rolling, everybody's already doing 60 miles an hour. What happens at that point? Now, all-wheel drive is not going to help you. It's what you're going to do at that point. Again, that's the part that makes uh the difference between my car and the C806 is that it's lower torque. So it's got 400 something foot-pound of torque. I'm still at 650. So anything beyond 60 miles an hour, that's where torque starts to take over, start to play with you when you need to launch at that speed. It doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. Not for the vet. In my opinion, it's because the speed will always be a deciding factor to the victory of the value. Victory for the value. In short, why pay double for a car if you can still be neck and neck? Bruh, listen, I get it, but that's an enthusiast way of looking at it. Most people don't think that way. I just think that's the facts.
Would you consider the fastest version of the newest Viper? Well, that would be last gen Viper versus C801. No,
Not
that's not a
even,
fair race.
not
No,
even close.
that's not even close.
Not even close.
No. People, I think, again, people fail to understand. The C801, not the X, the C801
Still a 1,000 horsepower car, man.
I think it's, I guess in the right conditions, high eights, low nines all
Low
day.
nines, yeah, consistently low nines because
Yeah.
the ZR1X,
X is a eight. Well, it ran an 8.7,
yeah, it's consistent eights.
and then backed it up with I think another 8.7. But that was a
Mhm.
professional driver on the track,
Yep.
optimal conditions.
But see, here's the thing about Vet, man. Vet will have enough in it that will make even your average driver feel like they can do anything in a car. They have enough technology in that car that keeps you from hurting yourself. Most vets are torn up when somebody turn off traction control. That's when they
Oh,
get hurt.
that's when they get hurt. That's what most modern sports cars, supercar, high power, high performance cars, they turn off traction control. All right, go right ahead.
Facts.
go
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
right
Watch
ahead.
watch how this turn out.
Not gonna
That's
turn
the
out well.
question. No,
Nope,
not by
not
any
at all.
means. Not by any means. I know we would talk about it. We talked about how EVs step in. One of the cars that I was looking at just recently and got into the news on was that Mercedes, man, the AMG CLA.
Oh,
That
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're going straight EV on that car now, and the numbers.
I think it's somewhere around 1,000.
No, this no,
Which
nah.
one?
That's the torque is
Right, the torque.
1,700 Newton meters. or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. But horsepower being 680 horsepower, we talking supercar numbers on a 45. And if you understand like how, Mercedes does their numbers, 45 or usually 43 is one of the lower end AMG. That is the lower end AMG. But because it's gonna be all and it's fullmatic, all-wheel drive, numbers are through the roof. This is crazy. Absolutely nuts. Bro, 1700 new. What is the conversion of newton meters
It's very close to horsepower.
crazy numbers, bro? Crazy numbers. To torque, foot
Which
pound torque.
is which is
That's still 1,300 horsepower, 1,300 foot pound torque. That's crazy launching power. Again, that don't make it fair when you think of 0 to 60. All-wheel drive launching with 1,300 horsepower,
that's
1,300
why
foot
that's
pound of torque.
this is why 0 to 60 numbers are pointless.
It don't make sense. Ah. Do I think $200,000 maybe or maybe even a bit more C801 is worth the price? Yes. Because of what it competes against. Yes. It competes with cars that are 2 or 3 times more than
More.
what it's worth. It is that much more. Yes, it probably should be more, but it's a Chevy. I think Vet should have been its own brand. If they just separated themselves from Chevy, just make themselves their own brand, maybe they grow, maybe they do something different. But because they're still a Chevrolet, they
I
still
think
challenged with price or
here
notoriety.
here's what I think. And I think maybe Chevy, Ford, sometimes Dodge to some extent. I think they've pretty much they're just completely forgotten about worrying about notoriety. I think they let the performance speak for itself and stop
Which makes
trying
sense.
to because like you said, Chevy has embarrassed Ferrari. Ford has embarrassed Ferrari on several occasions, both of them. At this point we have nothing to prove because I can take what you have, make it better, and sell it for a cheaper price. So
Yep.
if you want to live with the aristocrats, the Pebble Beach, the Concours, fine, no problem.
Right.
Well, why waste time trying to convince people that you can produce the same product for cheaper? Because you're never going to convince them. You're never going to convince those type of people that Chevy is a viable supercar maker.
Oh my God. So I was looking at the Stratman, and he was in at Car Week, right?
Right,
And he
Monterey.
Monterey, and he's walking down this list. This is the last day, and he's walking down this list of cars parked in front of this. I think it was a restaurant. I literally saved that video because I wanted to use that clip for something. He's like, "Oh man," he's talking about the Porsche and the Paganis and not the Porsche, Paganis and Lamborghinis and the Ferraris that was parked up there. And he's worked his way back, and he's like, "Well, wait, hold up, what is this?" He said, Why is there a C8 parked up here? How did he get here?" The other guy was like, "Well, it's basically a Ferrari." He's like, "No." When I tell you that was such an example of what I say when I say that car doesn't get this notoriety. Although it's a good looking car and it's sitting up front with all these other cars, my man questioned why was there a C8 amongst the rest of these? Why was there a peasant amongst all these aristocrats?
you know,
I was like, wow.
I will still say for me,
Sorry about
I
that.
they
I
can
am.
call it they can call it whatever they want, but in my opinion, let it show itself on the track.
Was my favorite son. People say, "Man, you got automatic or manual?" I said, "I got automatic." He said, "Oh, why you didn't get the manual? Manual?" I said, "Line up, just line up." You can say all you want about manual versus automatic. Line up. I'm sure it's fun, but you
Yeah,
cannot manually shift faster than this computer. So
no,
line up.
you can't.
No,
No matter what. No matter what. The only thing has made some strive and some difference is the rev match, and it's still not close.
mm-mm. rev match is rev match is rev match is on the way down. It allows it to sound amazing when you're slowing down, but it still doesn't help it when it's trying to move forward.
Yep. Yeah. No. Manual is strictly for when you're on the back roads and you're carving corners and you're downshifting and you're having fun. But on a far as racing is concerned, it's not even a question.
It's not the same,
You-
man. It's not
Not
on.
the same.
You're different playing field, and that thing shifts like you would not believe. It blows my mind how hard it shifts and how quickly and how efficiently it shifts.
Yep. And you're talking
Mercedes X
technology
underdog when it takes previous Rocky versus
till it's on
Pablo
the
Ferrari.
lift. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
think that and the Stingray just takes it to the next level because it doesn't bring to the table what the Z06 or the Z06 or above brings to the table. So it's really on the lower end when you think about it. Supercar, no, sports car, it's still a GT car, but that compete with some sports cars, right? When you think of base model C8. Um, but you when you talk about line up, right? The ZR1, like you said, what fun is it for the ZR1 if you don't have any competition? The ZR1 is, in my opinion, one of the better ones to have that allows you to compete with so many different cars. Because they got people that'll come close. It's not gonna smash everybody. The X will smash everybody. The ZR1 will smash most, but it still doesn't get the prestige based on its performance. It still is looked at as that Chevy.
yeah. And
It's a
it never will,
I don't
no
think it
matter
will
what.
either. I don't think it will either. I think there's some people still getting them. People are buying them. People want that Zero One X for the performance, and I don't know if it's for the performance or for the novelty of the performance, but it's not for the notoriety. Would you say I think Viper messed up doing the Viper in all manual? That's their thing. That's their thing. That's like uh Corvette with the ZR1. The ZR1, the new ZR1 is the only one that the first ZR1 that's automatic. All ZR1s before that were all manuals.
They went the complete opposite direction.
Facts. Do the shifts makes the rears. Nah, it'll chirp them on my car. So at 80, it'll chirp the tires. It ain't going nowhere. At least I don't play with my car when it's wet outside like that. I don't mess around because I ain't trying to lose it. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I ain't trying to hurt myself. So on a dry road, I've done it several times where I'll chirp those tires at 80. Um, it probably would spin out if there was some type of moisture on the road or ice or something like that. If it was wet, I think it would. It'll get out. It'll get away from me. That thing is crazy. I love it. It has. I made this shirt that has my Z06 vertically. You'll see the same color of my car, and then I have a dark side because it has. And one side is all black with outline. The other side is the normal color. Because I feel like it does have a dark side. It could be a crazy car, and it can cruise and feel like you're in a Cadillac when you're just cruising down the road. But when you get on it, oh, the thing has a dark side, man. It's crazy. Every automatic you can give the gas pedal certain movement and make it shift a little when you want to. Not all automatics will do that. Um,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
gotta have power.
you got to have power and you got to have the right transmission to support it. Not all automatics to do it. You'll be sitting there waiting for that. Depending on what you got, you'll be waiting for that transmission to get into the right gear so it can do what it needs to do. All I got to do with that thing is flip that doggone pedal, and it's ready to play. Like it literally, it goes from la 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 to what we doing. We about to get at it. We about to do it. We running. Just by flipping that doggone gas pedal, it's in the gear that it's supposed to be in, and it's ready to go. That sucker wakes up like you would not believe. That car is crazy. Automatic 01 says a lot. Yeah, confidence in the technology. It's crazy what that car can do. And those guys, some of those guys still play with the paddle shifters because you can, right? You don't have to. You really don't have to. Some C701s are automatic. I've never seen an automatic 01. I believe they were all made manual.
Yeah. I think when it comes down to rear wheel drive, traction, supercars, hypercars, I think Ferrari does it the best. Because Ferrari in that 296, never seen a car with that much power launch like an all-wheel drive. That car
Absolutely nuts.
launches like an all-wheel drive vehicle. Like
Yeah.
how? How?
Yeah.
How did he do it?
Oh, no. Wait. I thought the 296 had electrification, right?
Yeah, but it's still rear-wheel drive.
Is it? Why did I
Yeah.
thought it had front wheel
No,
support?
there's no motor in the front. It is electrification, but it's still all rear-wheel drive. That car launches like you would think it's all-wheel drive the way it launches.
I don't know why I thought that thing was with all wheel drive
The
because of the
SF90,
electrification.
the SF90 has the motor in the front.
Yes, it does.
The
Uh,
SF90,
does this one have the motor at the transmission?
yes,
It has electric motor at the
yes,
transmission.
yes,
I'm
yes.
still looking it up.
The 296.
Yeah, man, how do they do that? Like when I tell you,
I don't know. This is why the Tamario has been the first time that Lamborghini has been able to produce one of their vehicles that can actually compete with a Ferrari.
that's a bad boy, and it does compete with this car. As a matter of fact, it walks him.
The 296. But the crazy part about it, Ferrari's like, bro, it's just the 296. Calm down.
Right. It's just a little V6. Are
It's
you
a
happy you beat a V6? I mean,
little
come on.
turbo. Oh, just calm down.
But it ain't easy. It's not an easy win. This car hauls, man. This car is
Oh,
fast.
well, see, the problem that we talked about last time with the Tamario is Lamborghini kind of embarrassed themselves because it's outperforming the Revolto in some cases. So they kind of like, oops, we made a mistake there. Yeah. And actually, they dropped the SV, the
Yes.
Revolto SV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dropped the SV. As a matter of fact, they showed it, they presented it at Car Week,
Yeah,
Um, Strad, he showed some video. He actually saw it months before then. But yeah, man, they got the SV also.
but here's a crazy one. Somewhere, Aston Martin, somebody from Ford still works there. Pull up the Aston Martin Valen, Valen. Pull that up. Then you tell me that's not a Mustang.
VALAN.
No, Valen. You tell me that's not a
Golly,
Mustang.
bruh, that's a Mustang, and that's like black horse, a dark horse. Like, hold on, let me pull, bruh. This is crazy. How they do that, man? Look at this thing. That's a Mustang. Look at it. A Mustang with a V12.
I don't see how you can convince me any different. That's not a S650.
That's crazy.
Somebody's copying off of somebody's homework.
Somebody definitely looking over somebody's shoulder. Look at this exhaust though. What?
Oh, the exhaust is sick.
That's crazy. Oh, this interior luxury, bro. Golly. This looks amazing. That's the only thing that takes it away from Mustang. This doggone
The
interior
interior.
is
Yeah, once you
crazy.
go to the interior, it's game over. But from the outside,
From the outside, this is a Mustang, bro. Like you can't even tell me, okay, with fins on the side. Is that exhaust? No, that can't be exhaust. That's gotta be
no,
aero.
those are fins. It looks like a 650 that Chip Foose made a redesign.
Yes, literally. That's what it looks like. Look like somebody took a 650 and said, what if we did this? What if we did this? Look at the front of this thing. What?
That has S650 written all over it.
What? Look at the nose. What?
Yep.
Come on, man. Let's talk about this. How did I miss this? This came out
Yep.
what? Bro, that's a Mustang. That's a regular Mustang. That's a Mustang. That's ridiculous. That don't even make sense to me.
Yep. It don't make sense. But
How'd they pull that off? That's crazy.
oh, we're not saying that it's not a sexy car. We're just saying this looks like a
Oh, it's
Mustang.
beautiful. Man, this car is
It's a
absolutely
beautiful
beautiful.
car.
But that's
No
a
question.
Mustang, bro.
But that's a Mustang.
Yeah, bro. Creative. Yeah, bro. That's a Mustang right there. I don't care who you are. I don't listen. You took a Mustang, you stretched it out a little bit. That's a Mustang. I don't care who you are. Dealers marked up, cause blue collar people problems. But yeah, absolutely. They're paying 100 grand. They pay more than that. Some of them 80 grand vets, they were paying $120,000. You talking markups. Markups weren't just like 20 grand. Your average markup was 40, 50, 60 grand on these cars.
People were paying double what the car costs.
Unnecessarily. That's the part that was so disrespectful and frustrating to me.
Lamborghini. Yeah, Lamborghini is the Dodge of elites. Loud, noisy, fast in a straight line. Lamborghinis always
Not the new
it's,
ones, they're quiet. They don't make the same noise that they
they
used to.
don't have a choice because of emissions.
Emissions. Yep. They got real quiet. You have to bring the noise out of those things now.
Yeah, you have to go with a different exhaust once you buy it.
And what's crazy to me when you say that, right? Aston Martin, in my opinion, Aston Martins and F Paces,
Yeah, the SVR,
right?
the
In
F
my
Pace
opinion, they were
SVR.
like the British Mustangs because of the sound that they made.
Well, the crazy part about it, it's they use a 5 liter V8, and if
Sounds
you if
so
you
that
if you
exhaust
go
sounds so
back,
good.
if you go back to, I want to say maybe the early 2000s, Ford and Aston Martin had joint ventures. They had cars together.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, of course, Jaguar, which is a part of. People still don't understand Jaguar, Aston Martin,
It's
Land
still
Rover
yeah,
were
yeah.
all under the same group.
Yep, yep. They share a lot. They share a lot. And for a moment, they were sharing powertrain.
Yes. Like the dealerships were combined back then. Where you saw a Jaguar dealer, it was more than likely a Land Rover dealer
Right,
and an Aston Martin dealer, all
right.
combined into one.
Man, it's crazy how. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. A little shocked to see it from that perspective because you don't really see a lot of British cars mimicking or foreign cars mimicking American cars. Right? It's usually the other way. That is
They
just
don't
that feels so blatant.
see, but the thing is,
That
they don't
feels
like
real blatant.
they don't like to talk about it. But the enthusiasts and people who know a lot of history about the cars knows that there's a lot of American influences on European cars, even back then. They just won't announce it or tell you about it.
What Acura V8 are you thinking about? The
I don't
what
think Acura's made a V8 in years.
I
I don't
don't
think
think
Honda's
so.
ever had a V8.
They do
They
now.
had a they had
That
an F.
that one, remember your boy, man, Honda actually is coming out with a V8. Like he got a straight attitude and he built the V8. Honda's V8.
Well, Honda had an F1 V8 back in the day.
They're building a new one. They're building a new car, a supercar.
Oh, okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
they are really they this dude had a straight attitude. The Honda maker, the engineer, chief engineer for Honda. Yeah, he
Oh,
straight attitude.
because of what Toyota came out with.
I don't know if it was Toyota or what they were saying about Honda.
Well, Honda did have a V8 back in the day when they were doing F1,
Hmm.
but they never brought it over to the mainstream cars. Now, here's the crazy thing that I learned about the Japanese culture and their cars and their history. When they made the GTR, right,
Hmm.
with all the
How the hell is
power
so?
that that car had, it was GPS limited to 118 miles an hour.
Yep.
And the only way that they could drive the car over that speed, it had to be on a track.
Yep. Yep.
That's crazy. Can you imagine that here in the States?
I remember that. Yeah, you when you think about how they controlled that market over there, like the car industry or the scene is so controlled to a point where once a car hit a certain age, it's off the street. Like
Yes.
literally. They
Yes.
pull it off the road. So they've been doing that for a very long time. So when I first heard about that, that was a while ago that I heard about that. When you think about how restricting that is, and I can only look at it from the lens of being in the US. That's man, that is like obscene to me. It doesn't make sense. Like I have to be literally the GPS got to say I'm in a particular place before the car lets me do what I want, like really drive it, really open up, really enjoy it, really have fun. That's crazy. Say I want to see a Stingray for 60K, as they promised. I wanted to see it because of the yellow one. You could get a Stingray now for 60. You could definitely get a Stingray now for 60.
Yeah, you could get an LT1.
Yep,
You can get an LT1 for 60.
definitely.
Yeah, you can find one now for 60.
It's not hard to pull that off now. It won't be a brand new car; it'll be a used one, but you can definitely pull it off. I want to see what that looked like real quick.
But I like what we just talked about as far as that GTR
Yeah,
being limited like that. I kind of see that's where they're going over here in the States with these cars now. I could see that happening at some point where these cars are going to be limited somehow, some way on the street to certain speeds.
you think so?
It's not hard. It's not hard to do now.
God, no, it's not. You got to really think that the reality of what they can do with technology is through the roof. One of the things that Illinois is looking at doing for guys who get caught speeding over 25 miles an hour over the speed limit, 26 miles an hour over the speed limit, is that their car have to be fitted with a device that limits it to the speed limit on which whoever road is driving on at any given time.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. New York
GPS
has a version of that.
governed speed,
Yeah, but
right?
they
So it,
with New York, you
uh
have
huh.
to you have to be caught speeding X amount of times before they make you put it on there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not. It's
twice
not the
up here.
first.
It's
Right.
going to be twice up here. They haven't implemented it yet, but it's going to
Okay.
be twice. But it's got to be caught speeding twice over 26 miles an hour.
Correct. I think New York is a little bit more generous. I think it's 4 or 5 within within a certain time frame.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why I kind of see. I can see that happening. I can see these cars being GPS enabled with speed.
Especially with all the technology that's already on them. You got to think, especially with the think about with the electric cars, all the EVs, right? They have a lot of these, and most of them having the intelligence of self-driving. Imagine somebody buying one and don't pay the bill. They don't have to send a repo man. They can summons the car back to the
Oh
dealer.
yeah, they can do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They can summons the car back to the dealership.
yeah. If they
Absolutely nuts.
the only reason they probably haven't done that yet is probably legally. They're probably figuring out a way how to do it legally.
Yes. Yes.
Once they figure that out, oh, that's going to happen.
Here you go, your mama's house. I'm gonna just add it to the scene so you can see. Look at this, man. This is $50,000 worth of car.
Oh, nice.
$50,000.
Is that with the Z51 package? I see the calipers in there.
That's a good question. I don't know. I have to pull it up. Let's see. I don't think that's Z51.
No, no,
That's not Z51.
no. The Z51 is 6 piston calipers.
Yep, they got the Z06 package, race package.
That's a lot of car for 50 grand.
50K, bro. 50K. Red guts, white interior, all over that. All over that. 50K.
What's that zip code? Is that 908 zip code?
Yep.
That's Jersey.
Yeah, that's Jersey.
Wow. If that car if that's a clean Carfax, that's yeah, one LT. Yeah.
It does have an accident on it. It looked like it.
One of a kind.
Let me see it.
Yeah.
That's one LT. Again, you want the experience. This gives you that experience.
Yeah.
This will definitely give you that experience. They got another one on here. Where is it? God, I hate. Why is this thing jumping like this? This is crazy. Only when I share the screen it acts crazy.
Yeah, Auto Trader does that sometimes. They get sketchy.
Like we talking under 60. You got a ton of options. Oh my god, a ton of options. Let's see if we can find one without an accident. This doesn't have an accident for 54. That's not bad, man. 54. Yellow calibers, Z51 package.
For 54? Wow.
Yep.
What
One
year?
of my favorite
20.
things. This is a 21.
Oh, wow. That's not bad.
No, sir. Not for 51. You want a fun this is a lot of car for 51. I'm just saying. A lot.
And you get to live the convertible life in a way.
Targa top.
If you want the sun on your head, you can just take the top off.
Just take the
Top it.
top off, bro. Love that
Put it in the
about
back.
that car. Love it about this car. Like when I tell you, such a dope feature. And this weather's been perfect. I do not, bro. I've been taking this top off. I've been going topless. You have to, man. You have this Z51 pack with Z51 performance package, bro. 54.
That's a good deal, man, with the Z, because because you get a good feel, handling feel when you get that Z51 package. It's a nice little upgrade.
It is. It's a in my opinion, it's a recommended upgrade. If you're gonna do it, get the Z51 package. It gives you more car than what you think you can start off with. Way more car. And it
Yep.
does make a difference. Those brakes make a big difference. That little extra boost in suspension make a big difference.
And also the Magna ride.
And the mag ride, man. That's yeah, mag ride, next level. Like absolutely highly recommended. Let me see if oh, I hate this just jumping around that this thing is doing, man. This is crazy. That's some miles right there. But this is still, bro, just so you try to hold on. 97,000 miles for 55.
Hey, there's one thing for sure. He drove it.
Yeah, he's driving his car, bro. Driving his car. This is a 20. 2LT. I don't think it's Z51. It's not Z51. 2LT. You got the cameras. No accidents. For 55.
Yeah, you can find them. They're out there.
Red and black interior. Like the spec. Looks like home. Big wing on the back.
Yeah,
This
not.
is not a bad deal.
They're out there. You just
They're
have to.
out there.
You just gotta look.
This is a Florida car. Yeah, man. Like all you got to do is go and look. You're going to find what you're looking for. There are tons of options out there, especially under 60. Um, you just got to look, man. You just got to look. Wow, this is crazy. And they got some nice cars out here, especially like 2LT. Come on,
Two
man.
LT.
You get a little bit better leather. You get a few more features. You get the cameras, and they
Yeah.
got a lot of them. They got a lot. They got a lot. They got a lot under 60. I want to see for sure how many I find under 60 before I get out of here. Let's see. 79, almost 80 cars around the country under 60.
Mm.
And that's only 2 years. What if I add a third year? $107 up to 22. I'll say not a bad deal, man. Golly. So when you think about what some of these guys do, especially the guys that they have, and we talked about this, and I'm gonna go find. I got to go find that video. And he was saying these guys that have the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis, they go buy Corvettes. They'll go buy a Z06 and take it and run it on the track before they put their Ferrari or their Lamborghini on the track. And they'll beat
Mm-hmm.
the vet up on the track and drive it back home, no problem. Because it's, they pay less than half of what they pay for their car for that thing, and it performs like a dream on the track.
Yep.
I'm like, makes sense to me. Not
Yep.
mad at them for that.
And the maintenance, like I've always said, like, people were like, oh man, you got 350, take it to the track. I'm like, see, you got to understand this. When you take a car to the track, you must have the mentality that this car may not make it home.
You really do. You really got to believe that.
And it
You
has
really got
nothing
to
to
believe that.
do. It has
Not
nothing to
with it.
do with the car. It has nothing to
Nope.
do with you. It just
Nope.
could be a certain series of events.
It could literally be a certain, and it could be somebody else, completely somebody else. It could be the condition of a certain part of the track at that given time that you're there. It could be a lot of things that could happen. Somebody then tore up a transmission on the track. Somebody's power steering went out on the track. Somebody's brake started to leak on the track. You hit that patch and something can happen.
Yeah.
There's literally specific insurance for on the track when
So
you
it's
take
like
your
track
car to
day
the track.
insurance. Right.
Track day insurance.
Yeah. That's what I tell folks. Like, it sounds good in theory, but I tell people, anybody that drag raced or anybody that circuit racing or any other type of competitive events, you must have the mentality that this car could go home on a trailer. If you don't have that mentality, you're going to be in for a rude awakening.
One of the reasons why I think I've never pulled the trigger completely on my car taking it to the track is the reality of that, right? One of the things I never wanted to do, ever have to do, is use that tow hook. I swear to you, I never want to have to use that tow hook. That tow hook means you're going off road. That means possible damage to the undercarriage. That means possible wheel damage. That means possible suspension damage. All of these things, individually or combined, means you're getting home on a tow truck.
Yeah.
And it's not that you bought a car that you can use it for that, but I didn't buy it for that. If I bought it for the track, I'm gonna use it for the track. It's gonna be a track car. I'm gonna be on the track with it because that's what I bought it for. But if I
Yeah.
didn't buy it for the track and I buy it because I want to enjoy driving and doing what I do in it right now, it's hard for me to think about putting my car on the track and risking not being able to drive home.
Yeah.
That's the reality. So
Autocross,
we're on the same pace.
like I'll do autocross, no
So
question.
same here. Same here. I would as well.
But open track, nah.
Way more probability. I'll hit a cone all day without having to worry about going off road.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might mess up a little bit of some ground effects, but going off road means you're gonna probably tear up a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
It's
literally have an event they do at the college not too far from me that I thought about doing one day. I don't have a helmet. I need to buy a helmet. You
yeah,
gotta have a helmet.
autocrossers, they see, and again, this is the disadvantage of New York State and living up here in the Northeast. They once had Sports Car Club of America. They rented a local
They had
airport track
agreed.
right around the corner from me.
Mm-hmm.
They had an event. I went, checked it out, and I'm like, wow, this is enjoyable. When you guys coming back?
Agreed.
They never came back.
Really?
There was something about, insurance and the airport. And it really kind of sucks because there's nowhere else to really do it. The airport was the perfect place.
Here we have a bunch of tracks here. We do have a lot of small airports where people get deals where they can get out there and run their cars on the airport on a
Hmm.
runway. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of probability and possibility. That's the one thing I wouldn't mind doing that. I'll do a runway. I'm not crazy about open tracks. I haven't gotten that across my head because it's not just me that I have to worry about on a track. I thought about taking my car on Audubon. Audubon is a place out in Joliet. It's a race. It's a really nice
Oh,
track
that's
out
where
there.
Savage Geese films at, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
And I had the pleasure of riding on that track in with the oh god, what's the Stradali. Stradali is out of there, and
Oh,
went to
okay.
a social media event out there. Had the pleasure of riding in one of the race cars of one of the drivers. Had a great time. As a matter of fact, the driver that I rode with. He's been winning some big stuff. Right, pretty cool thing to see the guy that was driving me in the car actually on podium and doing all this other really cool stuff. Right, um, and you can take that stuff for granted. And if you don't know how to actually do what you're supposed to do with that car, man, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. One of the reasons that I think another reason that really turns me on to Porsche is that unlike a lot of other dealers that have a experience that they offer for their car, Mustang has one, Vet has one. There's a bunch of other ones that have them even off-road experience. Porsche has it as well in Atlanta, and but Porsche is in for the guy that just bought the new car. It's for Porsche. And you could take your SUV, you can take your 911, you can take your 918, you can take your 718, you can take your car on the track or use their car on the track to understand the capability of what that car does. And they have an instructor, that actually shows you how to understand the capability and trust yourself that the car is going to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
That Porsche experience to me is through the roof.
The one in
Absolutely
Atlanta?
through the roof. Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard lots about it, and I never from someone who bought a brand new Porsche. It was always somebody that had a Porsche. The guy that I met at the Porsche and Cupcakes or Porsche Danish or whatever they call that event. That's where he was talking about the Carrera Ford GTS and how it was ridiculous. It was a whole lot of car. He drove one of them there, so he got to experience that car on their track, and it blew his mind. I've been seeing a lot of complaints about the engine bay taking in water. They do. Downside to the C8, water gets in there. Big problem.
Well, it's funny you say that because the GT500, they have a water tray, and Chevy is probably going to go that route with it. When the GT500 first came out, they had a water tray there, and guys were taking them off. And it didn't cause any major issues, but they were getting water on the engine. So people
Wow.
started putting the water tray back in.
And this we talking the difference between front engine and mid engine, right? And that mid engine has been having issues with that water, especially with the non-convertibles, right? The convertibles, the motor is all covered up. You don't see it. It's tucked away. As a matter of fact, no, it is the verts that collect water back there. When they first came out, they were collecting water in that little that area that you that keep you from being able to see the motor.
But you know what's funny? You know when water collects? When you're not moving.
Yep. Think about it.
Because they don't drive the car.
Dang, look at you, dog. I even think about it through that lens. You're absolutely correct.
If you drive the car, you ain't got to worry about it. That's the problem.
Mhm. You said vets are usually dogged out like
Is it?
Dodges. You're right. They don't. They people a lot of
People
them don't drive them. And
they
that's a
don't
good
drive
point. That's
them.
a great statement right after saying that. They don't drive them. I told you about the guy that I met. I went to meet a buddy of mine who just bought a C7. He had a C7 Stingray black, and I went to see his car. I was congratulate him. We pull up in our vets and we're gonna talk, and you know, and we were at a grocery store parking lot, all the way in the back, just tucked away. And this guy pulled up and he's like, "Hey man, I didn't get an invite to the meeting." And da 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 da. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" We talking, and he was telling me about his, he's he's one of those guys that pay over for a C8, and he probably thought he was gonna make some money. I feel sorry for the guy. I wish I could meet him today, see him today, and talk about where he's at with that car. Um, but he was bragging about the fact that he only do 300 miles a year. He'll take it to Cars and Coffee, to cruise nights, and then take it back home. And once he hit 300 miles, he puts it away. I'm like, really? I said, nah, man, I drive my car. I told him I did 300 miles yesterday. Like, what? Ain't no way. Ain't no
Mm-mm.
way. I can't do it, man.
Mm-mm.
It don't make sense to me. It don't make
Matter of
sense.
fact, I
What's your
crashed
top speed without incriminating yourself?
148, man.
That's
That's
yours, man.
148.
I'm gonna type mine up here so y'all can see mine. I'm gonna type
148.
mine in.
That's in the C7.
We were
Probably
going
right.
to
Probably when you first got it.
mhm. We were going to me and Show was going to Detroit. We was gonna go do the cruise down there, the Woodward cruise, and we on the highway going. He took off. I'm like, okay, let me go. I'm gonna give him some space. I let him have some space. And I just went and got him. Boom, and dove into that car. Um, I saw 171. I let off and it ticked over. It kept going after I let off and hit 172. And it was still pulling. And I let off only because he got big fast. I came and pulled up on that dude so fast. Again, those things are great from the dig. They because mid engine, they got weight on those back tires. Their 0 to 60 is really good on the C8s, and he
Yeah, I
had
think
a
it's
C51 Stingray. Uh, yeah, but after that, it's all downhill. He couldn't get away from me if he tried. He had to throw spikes out the window and flatten my tires to get me to get him off. That thing is fast, man, and it keeps pulling.
yeah. People sometimes, folks, they talk about speed, but they don't have the realization of what speed really is.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I see three digits every time I drive the car. I will hit 100 and something almost every time I'm in that car. I find moments and I just want to push the pedal, and I could be heading out here and just get around somebody. If I'm passing somebody, man, let me dig into the pedal just a little bit longer. 120, right? 121, 130. I'm on a highway and I just have an opportunity to get around and open up a little bit. That'll be a 145 day easily. Like I see those numbers regularly in that car.
It's easy. So with my car, it forces you to drive the car because of where the power band and the rev range is.
Hmm.
I could be probably I could be probably third gear and be into three digits
Yeah, same here. Same here.
because of where the power band is in the car.
I know for me, third gear, I'm in the three digits. Now you make me wanna to see. Cause like when I get into that car, because I know I'm like 70 in second gear. Easy. So I have now I gotta test the theory.
No, I'm I'm
I gotta
I'm
test the theory.
I'm a 1,000% positive you can get three digits in third gear because my gears are like my car down low, nobody's home. But my car from top of second, bottom of third, it's a totally different car. That's what makes me never want to give it up because the car literally has two different personalities.
This
From zero to like maybe 4,000 RPM, it's just your average fast car. But
this is my
I hit
point.
once I hit 4,500, 5 grand, all the way up to eight, it is a completely different car.
And you got all the way up to eight. I'm
Eight,
talking. I'm barely hitting seven. What I think mine is 65 and think screaming. And
yeah.
it's only 65.
I have the most I've gotten. Matter of fact, the other day I just put my shift indicator, my shift tone back on. I've gotten to 7,800. And that car is just the sound that comes from it is just
I
crazy.
can only imagine. That's one of the things I wouldn't. Oh man, I admire about that car. Like for real.
We were
I like
coming
high
from.
revving.
I'm not gonna call no names, but when somebody did have their Trackhawk on the road,
hmm. I wonder who
we
you're talking about.
we were coming from a cruise. We went to this. There's a driving road that we were coming from, and we were coming back on the highway. Just having a little fun, nothing crazy. And when we finally pulled off the highway, we didn't realize there was an older dude. He was like, "Man, I've been following your car for like the last 8, 9 miles, bro, because I just couldn't get past the sound. I didn't want to get away from the sound." And I was like, "Bro, we didn't realize you were back there." Yeah, and
Bro, I
that's
love
one
it.
of the things that made me
One of my
realize, like,
favorite
man,
exhausts, bro. One
this
of my
car is
favorite
crazy,
exhausts.
and it's stock,
I
stock.
know. I know. One of my favorite exhausts, bro. I'm
Yeah,
telling you. One of my absolute favorite exhausts is a Mustang exhaust.
that
If not my favorite. I'm just
and
saying. I'm being
the
honest.
the Jaguar
That thing sounds so
SVR
incredible, man. Oh my
is
god.
it's neck and neck with the 350.
Sounds incredible.
That Jaguar is crazy.
And then
It
is it the third gen Camaros?
um
No, fourth gen Camaros.
fourth gen with a chop.
Yes. Oh God, don't add a chop.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
with a chop. There's a couple of cars out there. Of course, you have your Porsches, the GT3 series.
They
That's
spin up.
holy. That's holy grail material over there.
Yeah, next level,
That's a
dog.
whole.
That 4 liter is stupid, bro. Absolutely.
Uh, your 458.
Yep. Yep. 458.
Four,
Probably that's top three for me. 458 is top three naturally aspirated exhausts.
yeah, 458. What other? There's a couple of cars that's out there. Oh, your early AMGs. with
Oh
that.
yeah. Like the sledgehammer.
Oh, man, listen, those
Yeah.
man.
That that's the 65
You want to
AMGs.
talk about deep?
Yeah.
Those AMGs got a very deep, deep growl to it, man.
And out of the three, out of the German big three, I think Mercedes got the best sounding exhaust.
Yeah, no question.
I think they got the
Well,
best sounding exhaust.
except for the Audi B5.
I
Yep.
thought you was gonna say M3, the F
E93.
E93. I
Yeah.
thought you was gonna say E93 with the naturally aspirated
Ooh,
V8, which
that,
sounds
that
amazing. I think with that thing redline at 9,000.
yeah.
Um, that
But
thing sounds absolutely nuts. AB's car,
that Audi
that thing sounds
RS5 coupe
with the wait, which one? RS5. That's the no, not the RS5, the S5.
RS5.
You sure the RS5? Because the RS5 is a 6 cylinder.
The new ones are before they
Oh
changed it.
no, the S5 is the 8, naturally aspirated 8.
No, they got rid of those.
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about before they went and got rid of the RS. If you go back, that was 2015 or
Yeah, man.
14.
Yeah. That was because
RS5.
I was shopping for those. I wanted
Yeah,
one of them.
I was very close to getting one.
Let me see, man. Hold on. Let me look back.
What scared me off was the engine configuration. It's the timing chain is flipped around the other way.
Yep, it is. It is. Hold on. Let me see. Because listen, man, I just talked to somebody about this car. Uh, and I want to
Yeah,
say it was the difference between the
RS5.
S5. I want to look at the S5. Let me look at the S5 first.
Look at the RS5 2015.
Hold on. I'm gonna look at the S5 first. S5 15. Because I feel like this was the 8. I was crossed. I was so crossed because it didn't have. I love like I had in my head. I'm doing an APR tune. I already knew what I wanted to do, but I started this thought from the S6, right? I'm like, but what if I want the coupe? Let me look at the S5. The problem with that, the S6, the S7, they both have the 4-liter twin turbo V8.
Hmm.
The S5 did not. It had a naturally aspirated 8. Let me see.
See, the RS5 coupe had
Yeah,
a
no, you're right. So the RS, you're right. So I'm mixing the two up.
that
The
was the B.
S had the twin turbo 6,
Hmm.
supercharged, not turbo, supercharged 6, and the RS had the naturally aspirated V8, which was a high revving V8, if I'm not mistaken.
That was
You're
the one
absolutely
that
right.
it had the flat plane crank. That car sounds
It sounds
ridiculous.
wonderful, bro. The problem that I had with it, I couldn't get more power that I wanted to get out of it.
Yeah,
That was
that
the
was some
only
of
downside.
the maintenance issues kind of scared me off with it because everything is basically engine
I
out.
still wouldn't mind one. I'm not gonna lie to you, I still wouldn't mind one.
It's just
I
a scary
still
thought
wouldn't mind.
of everything engine out that bothers me.
Yeah, that was the issue with this car.
Yeah,
You weren't
everything
going
is
to do
engine.
what you wanted to do with this without having to tear it all the way down. And the
Yeah,
prices right now for this car, this is crazy.
and
What?
you want to talk about rare. You ain't gonna see many people with those.
Not anymore. Not now.
Not
Because
now.
they went to BMW.
Mm-hmm.
They went to BMW. So this one is still not. You don't see a lot of these on the road, and these prices are great.
But it is a beautiful car, man.
I think it's
That
a
car,
great looking car.
that
I
car
can't.
is
I've drove several of these.
beautiful.
because I was stalking this car hard. Let me look at the 15 because I'm seeing a ton of them. I want to look at the 15s only because it's only 3 years with this car. I want to look at the 15. So I want to look at the newer model. I'm looking across the entire country, 19 cars,
Yep.
and the price range between 21 and 60. So there's a lot of cars in here with around. I'm looking at this one right here. It has 34,000 miles for 35. 35. 35.
And
It's a cabriolet though. That's the only problem I don't like about it. It's
it's
freaking
all-wheel
cabriolet.
drive.
All-wheel drive. You can drive it year round. And it's Audi's all-wheel drive Quattro, which is probably the best on the market. The best with
That that
rally heritage. Let me show you
that
this one here.
car
Let me show you
that
this one.
car is a prime example of, if I get some extra cash, I wouldn't mind having this.
This will be like that cool one to put in the garage, like for real. This will be that one that you drive like when you just feeling yourself. You want to get out and just do something with this one. This the one to
Mhm.
drive, man. Look at
That
this.
that's the one. That is the one. That is the one.
Yeah, I was mixing them up. I started looking at this car uh when I was getting rid of my Infinity. I had a G35 and I was thinking about going to this car, a coupe, for the next car. It was the all-wheel
Mhm.
drive system that really sold me. Um, that really had me. Again, at that time, also the other only other car that had my attention, I liked S6s. I didn't care for at the time. I did not care for S7s, but I was absolutely in love with S8s, right? So I was like, let me entertain a coupe. The thing that challenged me with the coupe is that it was naturally aspirated. And when I looked at what APR was able to get out of it, you really couldn't do a lot. You didn't get a lot out of it on the other side. Um, so I I wavered. I started focusing primarily on S8s, especially after I seen what a S8 did to a Corvette. You gotta realize something. I've always loved Corvettes. At the time, it was not time to buy a Corvette.
Mm.
So I wasn't even looking at Corvettes to purchase. But S8s though, I was looking at S8s with a stage two APR tune. I saw this thing do something awful to a Corvette. It was over 800 around 800 horsepower for this big old sedan. It blew my mind. But I drove a bunch of these coupes because I was curious. So every time even when I looked at a S8, I end up checking out any S5s that they had on a lot. Like, why not? Why not? Yeah, these things are awesome, bro. Like for real. These
Yeah.
things are awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Well, remember now the RS7. The nickname for that car was the German Hellcat.
It was a German Hellcat. But that's what RS7 became. When RS7 started getting that level of popularity, it was especially because it was that hot hatch, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
reason, and I think the reason why the RS7 really got all the love it was getting is because of what the RS6, the Avant, was doing overseas.
Yes.
Because we didn't have the Avant here at the time, the RS7 was the closest thing that we can fathom to the Avant, right?
Yep.
Minus the big grill, minus some of the other accoutrements that the Avant had. The RS7 was it for us here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the reason why I didn't, I wasn't head over heels on it because the S8 was the same motor. It was the same motor, different turbos, and I was able to get the turbos if I wanted to. which made for me in some instances the S6 interesting because to make that S6, which the only one we have is the S6 here, we didn't have the RS6 here in the US, was the turbo and tuning,
Mm-hmm.
upgraded turbos, tuning, and now I got US Avant or RS6, which lighter than the S8, lighter than the RS7. You got a rocket ship, like crazy rocket ship. People were building their own RS6s. All they had to do is upgrade the turbos and do the tuning and everything else, and you were in there.
That's it.
You were in there, man. We didn't hit that 3 hour mark, man. We need to
Yeah.
start winding this down, brother.
All right.
Bro, again, very appreciative, man. The conversation fire through the roof. Next level.
One
Appreciate you,
hundred
my
percent.
brother. Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
try to. I'll try to bring somebody else in next week.
Oh, you yeah, yeah. You gonna come in with a Durango? I mean, not a Durango with a Trackhawk.
Good track off. I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna steal that damn track off if he don't
You
put
had to
play.
jack him, dog. You got to get him. He
Come
ain't
on, man.
driving.
You're sitting over there with one of the craziest cars in the world.
Still wouldn't
It's-
mind owning one. I swear, I would still would not mind owning one, bro. Real talk. Yes, indeed.
well,
But thanks again, man. Appreciate all you guys for hanging out for the conversation. Absolute great time, great feedback, great ebb and flow. You guys brought some crazy questions. Y'all brought some dope questions to the table. I really do appreciate it. And
yes,
look, bro,
sir.
like you said, we hit it off from the flow up, like from the giddy up. We were going.
Yep.
Your mama house was like, all right, let's get at it. But look, man, I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Again, y'all make my week that much better. Real talk. Um, Thanks for hanging out. But y'all know how we do, man. We'll do the normal around here. Oh no, why is that? Bro, we were designed from greatness. Because we were designed from greatness, guys, you have the right, the responsibility, and authority to never be average. Guys, don't be average. Yeah, shout out to all our veterans, man. Active duty, reserve, separated, retired, and transition. Always remember, man, freedom ain't free, comes at a cost. Y'all be good. Peace.